Yeah. So can I connect straight to that now? Then it's waiting for you, or is that? Yeah. I say I weren't 100% sure with that, you know. And then, do you want us to try that tomorrow as well, or see whether it works tomorrow? Oh goodness. Yeah. We've done all of this sort of stuff.
Alright, yeah.
So that basically, you can dial into numbers and solve them.
Alright.
Push them straight on without the need of having to reroute it to the studio.
Right, yeah.
So it's the same number going into the studio. It's not worked.
Oh.
So I looked like I got on, but so then it was like playing it. It's like nothing to do. Chat talking away to yourself for like 20 minutes.
You're live on the stream.
Okay.
If you're slag anymore, you know what I mean.
Right, okay.
I was just checking to get some background into it, so I just left it on, you know. So we were having a couple of issues connecting through the video anyway. So.
Right. So we're on the stream. So we're not on the Cumbria.
Well, I have dialed through to that country. Right. Do Conrad 1, which is like out, and then he'll put it live when it gets there. So hopefully he'll give me a message or something when it's going live.
Right.
Oh, right, nightmare. Anyway, because I was like, I've got to use that system.
Right. Well, I thought, I said to the wife this morning, we're leaving here at 9 o'clock. We didn't get away till 9:45. But funny enough, we had a straight run right through. The only time I got held up for like 20 minutes was getting from here over that bridge. Because of the road curve. Oh. Like I say, I dropped the life off, went straight back to Rain Lane.
Yeah, so I was just temporarily into myself as well. But you know, they say, what am I going to do? But I'm looking forward to working alongside you again, right?
Good. I said to Dan, when was it? I don't know what's happening next week.
I thought it went well last week, to be honest. I know that guy in front had a go. I didn't hear what he said. You know, cause I didn't ring me up to sort of give my events. And I was like, listen, I said, no, I can get you in a mouthful. I said, but I was just around the show and that time, that right on full time.
Well, the thing is, what happened was, Dan was going on about 2 weeks ago, and his little bird just went on. So I remember these three people. The person that asked me to sit there sat there a couple of years ago, and I remember the faces of all. And they were the same then. They were like looking at the comments from making. But there was nothing untoward.
I said, you know, it's like the senior producer on the from Radio Company on Tuesday. That was a book. It's like, chat, just like one. I said, I'll be back. Dad, great to you. And I said, it was a dominant victory, so I would expect, I said, I would expect the same. It was a working team. I think the team glowing things about them. And I said, so to me, nobody said anything.
What he actually said to Dan was, have you actually ever played the game? And because I didn't say anything to me. I was like that.
It's because you have played the game.
And Dan was like, I don't know what Dan said. I don't think he did because he was busy. He was like busy. Yeah. And then Dan looked at me, and I looked at the wall, and the wall went, he just went. He did say something, I heard, I did hear what he said, but it wasn't very complimentary.
Have you got some sort of C-board?
Senior book. What's he mean? Just
Whatever that means, to stop background noise.
I can turn
BBC Radio Cumbria Sport.
Looking for some early points then as Johnny Force sweeps that ball to the left and he's been intercepted by T. Ritson, and T. Ritson picks it up on the 20, and you know what that means. It's time to take your jackets, collect your suitcase and board the Ritson Express.
Infield, it comes to Scully. Nice ball to Stevenson, and Stevenson rubs his way over the line. No one in front of him, not a glove laid on him. Superb work from Scully. Workington Town have advanced to score. It's 10 points to Moore with the game to come.
Goes left now into the hands of Tyra. Tyra looked to go left, he's trying to spin round. It back inside to Jay Wetherall, and Wetherall's the man that's going to be taken down. The Whitehaven fullback will play this 2 metres out. Goes left into the hands of Rio McQuinston, and he's going to get his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. He's the former Millen man, back in after that knee injury which has kept him out for a good few number of weeks.
A massive opportunity for Raiders to take an early lead here, going down the short side once again. Can't find a space this time through that strong Toulouse defence. As the ball now comes out towards this right-hand side, swinging it deep towards Cresswell. Cresswell finds a looping ball over the top, and the Raiders are going to be in the corner, are they? The referee takes a look, and it's going to be the first try of the afternoon.
Oh, it's just opened up for Stevenson. Can he power in? Oh, he's 2 metres out. I thought for a second he got a bit of daylight there. So did he. Now it comes left. Weir out to Carter. Carter taking them all on. He's over the line. He's got the ball down. That's superb from Carter. I don't know how he managed to twist his way over, but certainly he has done. And that's the response that Workington Town were looking for.
Comes right into the hands of Holgate. Holgate looking for a hat-trick potentially. He's going to be wrapped up. It's taken 4 of them to get him anywhere near the ground, and they're still not able to. Great strength shown there. Collins comes left to Brad Brennan. Brennan gets the ball down, does Brad Brennan. Spun out to the tackle, did the experienced prop forward. It's Whitehaven's 3rd try of the second half.
Raiders now then, getting the offloads away. Find themselves breaking through on the halfway mark. This is a good ball over the top to Charlie Emsley. Charlie Emsley's got support. He's got support from Cresswell. Cresswell looking towards the corner. He's got a last second offload away to Bowman. Can Bowman do it again? And he has done it again. Bowman's doubled it for the Raiders. We've got 27 minutes on the clock, and it's Toulouse 0. It's Barrow 10, and it just gets better and better and better.
Eventually he'll play it to Doran. Doran spins it into the hands of Weir. Weir across to Carter. Carter releases it immediately to Cooper Howlett. Howlett 5 metres out from the line, just on this left hand side of the field. They'll angle it down this side again with Carter. Long ball out to Eccleston. Eccleston's unmarked. That was a superb pass from Carter. That was easy as you like for Eccleston. There was nobody in front of him. The defence was all caught ball watching in the end, wasn't it?
Collins comes right into the hands of DST, finds Cam Brown, now finds Conor Holliday. Holliday's through the gap, back inside the Ellison Holgate. It's his 2nd try of the afternoon for Ellison Holgate. It's his 5th of the season, and Whitehaven extend their lead once more. Fantastic play there.
He hasn't heard the call, so play continues. Preston wanted the 2. Raiders are going to go for the try. It comes out towards this right hand side. Oh! Raiders are going to get the try. That's the try they were after. They went against the coach's call, and now with 12 minutes on the board, Barrow retain the lead once again. It's Bartley 20. It's Barrow 22. This is an incredible finish to this game.
It's Phillips probing, putting the ball right. Who drops it back over his shoulder, does Weir to Howlett. Howlett's giving back to the left, gets through 2 challenges. He's just held up shy of the line over on the left hand side of the field. Phillips brings it right again. Here's Castle. Castle! Can he stretch out? He's got it down. 2 tries in 2 games for Lucas Castle. Brilliant response from Workington Town, and he forces his way directly under the post, and that try comes 24 minutes in.
Collins in there, look to go and find Conor Holliday. Pass was probably back left. Holliday's hauled down short. 5 and last, they're a metre out here at Whitehaven. Collins now finds DST. Daniel Spencer-Thomas crashes over and makes up for that error in terms of getting Simbin in the first half. He scores his 6th ever try in a Whitehaven shirt, the first in his 2nd spell. Does Daniel Spencer-Tonks. Whitehaven extend their lead.
It's now fifth and last. Raiders within 10 metres. Josh Wood turns towards his left side to find Walker out the back to Johnston. Johnston to Cresswell. Tip on to T. To Ritson! T. Ritson's done it! All aboard the Ritson Express!
Brennan finds Tyra, finds Jay Weatherall, finds Biggerdike. Biggerdike gets it. Oh, he's got the ball down there this evening, Biggerdike. Yep. Initially thought he'd run out of the room. He was looking for Max Anderson-Muir. I don't think he knew where the try line was, but he's just got his arm out, put the ball down, and Ethan Biggerdike gets his 4th try of the season.
Out towards Johnston, who finds King. King finds a short ball to Greenwood, who can't quite find the way towards the post. He's 5 metres away from the line. Boots come off. Ryan King, can he find a way over the line? He can! Ryan King has given Raiders the lead in front of the Raiders faithful.
Big carry from Kai Graham up towards the 30-metre line. He'll play it to Phillips. Phillips will turn it right to Weir. Weir dabs it over the top. Maybe he's had a shout. He's chasing it himself. There's a good 2 or 3 players, but they've all missed it. And Weir's picked it up. And Weir has dived over. Well, I was thinking, what was he doing, kicking so early in the set? And he's chased after it, and he's made 3 Dewsbury Rams players all question themselves. The ball just bounced up. There was hands galore, and his touch was the crucial one.
Holgate in a dummy half, look to go down that short side and find Chris Taylor once more. Taylor is through the gap on that right hand side, hasn't got anyone in support at the moment. Gets it, throws it inside Ellison Holgate. Holgate should have the speed. He has got the speed at Ellison Holgate. Fantastic work going down that right hand side edge initially. Comes from Chris Taylor. The ball then inside to Holgate. He was looking for support, was able to take it himself, was the former Waffrow Hornet. He scores what is his 4th try in a Whitehaven shirt, puts it on down underneath the sticks. Less than 5 minutes gone. It is Whitehaven 4, Gould 0.
Doncaster are setting up some shape on this last tackle, and again Robertson giving Akers a time to get that kick away. Not the greatest of kicks, and it's going to be Bullman that collects that ball. He's got a little bit of space if he can get round him. Bullman's away. Can Bullman be caught? Bullman might not be caught here. Bullman is going to go 100 metres downfield. He's got 5 to go. Can he find the line? Yes. He can find the line. Just finds the line. The referee needs to catch over here. The touch judge just had a look. He said it's perfectly fine. Andy Bullman's going to go over.
Every week, follow the fortunes of Barrow Raiders, Whitehaven and Workington Town.
It's over the line. He's got the ball down. That's superb from Carter.
Exclusive full-match online rugby league commentary.
Tried open to get a kick in behind. They could reel up Pinsley. He can't collect the ball, but there's a Whitehaven man that can.
Listen on the BBC Sport website at bbc.co.uk/rugby league and look for the live rugby league commentaries link.
T. Ritson, oh my giddy aunt! T. Ritson's done it again. That's one of the greatest tries you'll ever see in this competition.
Live Cumbrian Rugby League on BBC Sport.
I cannot believe what I am seeing here.
BBC Radio Cumbria.
Mike Zeller at breakfast.
Fire crews in Penrith. They were sent to rescue a sheep and 3 lambs. Where were they? Stuck in a swamp somewhere or something? No, they were stuck on the roof of a 2-storey house in the town.
It was a high-stakes rescue. Oh, you're just jealous, Mike. You're just jealous you didn't come up with it.
Bah, humbug. Come on, Heather, it's your go.
Look, can we just leave that and move on, please? I'm bored with that now.
Oh, wow.
Everyone's a critic.
Well, come on. Chop, chop.
Mike Zeller at breakfast. Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Cumbria. BBC Radio Cumbria with Nish Mahindosha.
What are you looking at?
Have you really finished that chocolate lime?
But
I thought you'd taken it out and put it somewhere for later.
why would I take it out of my mouth? I'm a cruncher.
You're a mega cruncher.
I am a cruncher.
You didn't even weaken that thing for a second. You just went straight in with the gnashers.
My husband goes really mad at me,
It was
actually.
obscene.
You know when you have like a throat lozenge
Yeah.
and you're meant to suck it? I'm a cruncher.
What are you like with ice?
Oh, a cruncher.
You might have an iron deficiency.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe speak to your doctor. Maybe this isn't the right time to have this conversation, but speak to your GP.
Right, welcome along.
Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Cumbria. Sometimes we go that extra mile to bring you closer to the action.
Final lap. The 2 Comets riding.
I've just got hit in the tooth by a little bit of the shale that came off the track there, which made me pause. It is going to be a win for the rider in white, Danny King. Chipped my tooth there. Bit of shell cracked me in the tooth during that one. There you go, a live injury on air here on BBC Radio Cumbria Sport. Thankfully not to one of the riders, just me getting hit in the mush.
The best in live local sport, every Saturday from 2.
Guys, you're coming up, it's perfectly safe, this bit.
That'll be in the famous last words category.
I wouldn't touch any of these massive cables, man.
There's more to this place than meets the eye.
Look at this. I bet you didn't know this was here, Bruce. Wow.
The hidden past.
I tell you what, the people up there on the platform, they've no idea we're down here. Bizarre. And you just heard a train go over the top, which is an extraordinary experience.
Secret Cumbria. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
It's a bit of a mystery, and there's some real mysteries as we go a bit further along.
Do you love true crime, but you need something a bit lighter in your life? I'm Rima Ahmed, and my new podcast, Strange But True Crime, is different. Wild crime stories, more bizarre than brutal, that'll make you ask, wait, they did what? Daring art heists. They have some sort of thrill. Outrageous love scams.
Her world really has been turned upside down.
Buried treasure.
Greed beyond the imagination of most of us.
One fascinating story per episode. Listen to Strange But True Crime on BBC Sounds.
Mike Zeller at breakfast.
BBC Radio Cumbria.
Every weekday morning when you wake up, come and join in the chat.
And my husband always said to me, well, you can drive the car and you can use the gears, but not at the same time. So he did most of the driving. Yeah, he ran away before I could clouse him.
How are you actually getting yourself to the Railway Festival?
Well, the irony is the railway is shut north of Carlisle, so it's by car, I'm afraid.
You couldn't make it up, really, could you?
No, you couldn't.
I can view marriage as a sequence of 3 rings. Engagement ring, wedding ring, followed by suffering.
Mike Zeller at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Cumbria. Going back to a time when your biggest stress was getting to the next level on Sonic the Hedgehog. The Time Tunnel. The Time Tunnel.
Good evening, and for the first time tonight, welcome to the Speed Competition Stadium. I had to go and check what the sponsorship was of this stadium then. Sorry, you can tell that I am a standing commentator this evening for Barrow Raiders up against the Sheffield Eagles. Really looking forward to this one. It's a real top-end championship clash that we've got for you this evening between Paul Crary's Barrow and Craig Lingard's Sheffield. My name's Dave Parkinson. Delighted to be joined by Graham Dale. Graham, other than not quite knowing what to call this stadium, I'm going to say what a glorious evening it is for Rugby League.
It is. It's turned out really nice this afternoon. The sun's out, the fans are out, and we're looking forward to, like you said, a top draw game of Rugby League this afternoon.
Certainly when these two sides met, I think it was back in February, Sheffield, they got the better of Barrow on that afternoon, and part of it was they had like a couple of breakaway tries at crucial points. I think it ended up being 22 points to 6, which didn't really tell the full tale of how close that encounter was. I think we're in for another close encounter tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a tight game. The thing is, what Sheffield always bring with them is tough, uncompromising athletes, strong out wide, strong in the middle, all over the field really. But this year, the Raiders definitely, that's what they're dining out on every week. You know, they start well, they have a good completion rate, the middles go well, and as I say every week, the bench is strong. So when somebody has an interchange, it doesn't weaken the team, the level that they can play at.
And obviously, you know, I was alongside you last week up at Workington. What was in a lot of ways, as far as I'm concerned, and don't get me wrong, this is I think my 6th time covering Raiders this season. Well, that was the most complete performance certainly that I've seen. I thought it was very, very good because they kept Workington at bay for long periods, and then particularly first half, it was almost like every time they had a chance, they iced it.
Yeah, they were really clinical. And I mean, to be fair, if Workington looked back on the game, they didn't do themselves any favours. They did turn the ball over unnecessarily, but like you said, the Raiders were just there to take any opportunities they were given, and they also created some really good opportunities.
So we're live here this evening via the BBC Sports online website and app, courtesy of BBC Radio Cumbria. For the first time, let us have a quick flick through these two sides. So as far as Barrow are concerned, it's the prolific Luke Cresswell at fullback. No T. Ritson this evening, and perhaps for the rest of the season after he got injured last week, which is a huge blow, I think.
Yeah, he's. I spoke to him earlier. We'll put a certain amateur rugby league club, which I'm not going to mention again today because they got really well beat. Yeah, I was talking to him. I feel sorry for the lad because he's having such a good season, and like you say, he has got this injury. It's to do with his Achilles, and basically his season's done, and he needs to know he needs to know he needs an operation, surgery to put that right, and I'm sure he'll be starting thinking about next season once he's had any surgery that he needs.
So our best thoughts go out to him, because it's hard, that recovery. It's not so much the operation. The operation you can cope with. It's the recovery, isn't it? And those long hours that he'll spend with the physio staff here, and he'll spend lonely hours on the training field getting up to full pace again. Won't
he will. I asked him before he sort of told me that what the extent of his injury was. I asked him if he'd been carrying an injury on his ankle for a number of weeks, because he always looked as though he was carrying something like an old injury, and he said, no, literally I just did it. If you remember one of his tries, he stumbled and fell over.
He did, he said,
and that's when it happened.
Was it?
Yeah, that's when it happened. So you feel desperate for him, he'll have his operation, he'll have his rehab, and he'll come back the T. Ritson that we know, I'm sure. As for the Raiders for the rest of the season, they've just lost, a right winger that can finish from anywhere on the field. And Cresta, whilst he'll only wish, like us all do, all the best for T, he'll be devastated to lose somebody of that calibre.
Coming in is Andrew Bullman, who actually played last week, didn't he, because of the shuffle that had to take place because of Matty Costello pulling out in the warm-up. Again, Costello doesn't make the line-up today. And in the centres, it's Curtis Tier restored to his usual position alongside Shane Toll. I was dead impressed with Shane last week, because he was involved in handing, I think, 2 of the tries on for Ritson. And then I think there was another one which he did for Johnston as well, where he'd done a tracking run into the middle of the field, and it was beautiful play.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what you get out of Shane is 110% every week, and he very, very rarely makes a mistake. He's a bit like Luke Cresswell. He's very adaptable. He can play multiple positions. He could play him on the wing, you could play him in the centre, like he often does. You could play him at fullback if Luke ever, God forbid, comes off or has a bad game. Not likely.
It never happens. That never happens, Graham.
Sorry,
apart from that one you mentioned, but there were mitigating circumstances.
We'll let him off with that. That was his first. That was his first time back after a long time out. But getting back to Shane and that, they're so competitive. As a squad, they all cover each other's backs, and they're all ready to jump in and do a job that they're asked by the coach. And as a coach, you can't want more than that from your players.
So Luke Broadbent actually fills in for T. Ritson, and he's now got probably he's the man with the first chance of staying in that shirt, isn't he? The rest of the year. Again, fantastic player, a great servant for the Barrow club. Halfbacks are Brad Walker and Ryan Johnston. In the front row it's Joe Bullock, Alex Bishop and Tom Walker. A back row of Ellis Robson. Veteran Jared Stack comes in. He must be approaching this 200 games mark now for the club. He's been an absolute servant, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's like you say, he's tough as teak, and he's there again. He's one of those that's there when he's needed.
And then we've got the the Ryan King fan club putting his hand up again and saying, I'm really looking forward to seeing Kingy play at loose forward again this afternoon.
Yeah, he's had a great season.
Fantastic, and now up to 10 tries as well, so he's certainly been on both sides of the ball, because we're used to his defensive work and we're used to him pushing up through the middle and perhaps playing on an edge, because he's been a second rower for much of his time in England, hasn't he? But Crest has spotted something. He's playing more of a central role, and it really is a central role that he's playing for Barrow this year. I think he's been tremendous, to be honest.
Well, I'm looking forward to, like say, Bish being at dummy half and taking them on up the middle, and people like Kingy, just on his hip, ready to feed off and then execute and carry on with breaks that they make up the middle, so they can move it then to the edges more effectively.
On the bench this afternoon for the Raiders, Tom Forber comes in from Wigan. He's certainly been dotting around the Championship and Super League over the last few months. I know he's had a stint at Castleford, he spent time at Rochdale, I think he's gone to the Midlands a couple of times, so he really has been sort of right around it. But this is his first appearance for Barrow. Looking forward to seeing how he goes. Vastly experienced Greg Richards. Harvey Makin's been brilliant over the last couple of games, in my opinion, and Charlie Emsley didn't let anybody down last week, so
never does.
He takes the 17th spot. Stevie Watson, the 18th man for Sheffield, and their boss Craig Lingard. It's Joe Brown at full back, Ryan Miller on one wing, Billy Walkley, whose birthday it is. So happy birthday to Billy. 16 tries he scored this season, so I wonder whether we'll see any more from him this evening. Certainly one to look out for. In the centres is the power-packed Will Oakes alongside Kieran Gill, one of the silkiest players in the Championship in my opinion. Half-backs are Kai Morgan and Jordan Abdul. It's a front row of Massey Mutongo, Corey Johnson and Martin Riley, and then back row of Connor Bauer, Alex Foster and George Griffin, and then a bench of Reece Butterworth, Greg Eden, Blake Broadbent and Lewis Peachy. The 18th man who needed is Lenny Alice. Our referee is Aaron Belafonte, and we're up and running with Sheffield in possession. A couple of tackles into the game, already they're up towards the 30-metre line. Ball is played, picked up and sent into the middle with Riley, power pack run, spent time pretty recently with Widnes Vikings, also played for both Dewsbury and Batley, as well as it's taken through that middle. Sheffield making some good yards to get over that 40-metre line. Scooped up by Johnson and sent into the arms of Mutongo. He has been impressive, and I saw him a few weeks ago up against Workington Town. He was my man of the match. He was awesome in that day. He's left Walker in a bit of a heap, but Kit comes in on the last. Straight down the throat there of Luke Cresswell, who starts the counter-attack, and already he's run it into the middle of the field, and he's about 22 metres out from his own line. Be interesting to see what sort of shape Barrow fall into, and certainly Broadbent with an excellent hit up. He was a brave man because he went at the entire front row of the Sheffield Eagles then.
Yeah.
Picked up by Bishop at dummy half, one pass to his right-hand side. Is that Jared Stack underneath that?
It is.
I think it is, yeah. He'll stand and play it just inside his own 40-metre line. Bullet follows up, was excellent last week in his two spells on the field against Workington Town. Bishop to his left-hand side, suspect pass, but King gets rid of it. Then it's further wide to Johnston. Johnston 40 metres away from the try line, down this left-hand channel, picked up by Bishop. He goes to Brad Walker. Brad Walker funnels it into the corner, and that's good play, rolls it down. In a lot of ways, a perfect set after getting the ball just 20 metres away from their own line.
Yeah, I was just going to say, good set that. They did well. They made good yards around the ruck, which is encouraging to see. And then, like you say, they just put that ball in. And the thing is now, Sheffield will bring this ball away in front of an organised defence.
Into the second minute of this one, and as you mentioned, Sheffield just 10 metres away from their own line. Some doubts about that ball. They perhaps feel it's not pumped up enough, so we'll wait for another ball to reach our players on the field. Fancy testing the pressure so soon. You would have thought that had been done before the game, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah, now there's two balls on the field.
Meanwhile, Martin Riley will eventually play it into the arms there of Gill. Gill 15 metres out from his own line. This is going to be picked up by Corey Johnson, the former Leeds man, sends it down that left hand side. Good running just over the 20 metre line. They'll come back to the middle. Excellent hit up from Griffin. just over the 30-metre line. Johnson's looking round, he's appealing for a quicker play of the ball, sends it right to Riley. He puts it further wide to Motongo. Motongo all wrapped up by 3 Raiders players. About 25 metres in from this left touch line, it goes back to the middle, and there's Riley. Rise the challenges, eventually overwhelmed though. Good defence in the middle of that field, particularly from Tom Walker, off to the left-hand side. Abdul gets his kick away. He was really disrupted in that, and it takes a weird sort of bounce, and it's picked up by Toll. Toll starts the counter, like, ooh, he was looking to try and promote the ball then to Broadbent, who was at his shoulder but couldn't get the ball away. I think Broadbent basically said, no, take that tackle. But now they're playing a bit of hot potato rugby league. Eventually Robson gets it, he settles it down, makes a good 15 metres with that carry up towards the 40-metre line, play to Johnston. Now Broadbent. Real high tempo stuff early on in this game, particularly from the Raiders, who are 30 metres now, just over 30 metres away from the try line. Still in this left hand channel, they'll take it into the middle line with Johnston. He sends it across to King, low pass, Walker keeps it moving, Cresswell onto Tia. Tia puts the step on, releases the ball in field. It was just forward for Cresswell. Tell you what, it was flowing, that movement from the Barrow Raiders.
Yeah, unlucky there, just a bit of a poor execution there from Curtis Tia there. I tell you what, he's doing really well this year. He's taking the line on a lot more, and he's finding space and pulling plays onto him. That's why he's creating extra space and more tries.
Do you think it's kind of helped because he's had a few games where he's played second row this season, hasn't he, Curtis?
Could well done. He's probably thinking, I'm not getting back in that pack.
I'm a centre me, I want centres Whitlow. Here's Sheffield back in possession, 12 metres away from their own line off the base of the scrum. In goes Corey Johnson. They've got a penalty here of Sheffield. Offside is the call from our referee Aaron Belafonte. So Sheffield will look to kick their way away from their own end. Much of the game so far has been played at that end of the field, hasn't it? In the Sheffield half.
Yeah, it has.
Abdul finds a good touch just inside his own half, but it's 25 metres really that Sheffield don't have to work particularly hard for. Barrow looking to make the tackling. Sheffield 40 metres out from the try line now. Johnson at dummy half. It was Kieran Gill with the run. Abdul onto Motongo. To be fair, there's not much difference in physicality between Abdul and Motongo these days, is there? It's sent to the right hand side to Riley. Keeps it going. Nice hands from Morgan. There's Bauer, former Doncaster man, reversing into the defence, eventually tackled there by Robson. They're about 20 metres away from the line. Here's Griffin, just rolled the ball across his chest, tried to wait for somebody buying a dummy, but it wasn't to be. 15 metres out from the try line goes Sheffield, going down the left hand side. Abdul onto Gill. Gill really piercing the defence, but the defence holds. 5 metres out from the try line though. Sheffield Eagles go, and they'll go and try and force their way over. They'll go really, really close. And the ruling is that he's been held short and it's going to be a turnover. But that was good work that from Alex Foster.
Yeah.
And good defence.
Yeah, it was good. Good rugby league, really. I mean, they went close there. Like I said, the Raiders kept them out. What you don't want Sheffield to do is get an early score, because they can really sort of score points quickly, and before you know, they could get 10, 14 points out.
Here come Barrow, good run, a relieving run that, certainly. Coming into the line there was Bullock. Bullock, after a quick play the ball, 20 metres from his own line. Here's King following through, almost making the 30. Just held by 2 Sheffield Eagles players who are playing in the away strip of bright green. It's like Canberra Raiders green as the offload comes in from Barrow. Back into the middle with Cresswell. Cresswell tries to duck the challenges, still makes some metres beyond contact. 40 metres away from his own line. They've reached the last tackle here of Barrow, so they'll have to get a good kick away, which they do from Johnston. It's a high one, it's a hanging one. And it's taken by Toll. Toll through the middle, offloads for Johnston. Johnston will keep him moving out to the right. Here's Tia, rise the challenge, gets it back to Stack. Stack back to Tia. Tia spills it, but he goes backwards. Johnston has picked it up. He's looking for an offload. It gets knocked out seemingly by a Sheffield hand, but the referee is ruling that there is going to be a turnover. Hot potato rugby league supreme that for Barrow. Really like that.
It kind of, it was really good play. And was it Toll who regathered the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sheffield were expecting a long kick, weren't they, from Johnston, and in the end it was like a mid-ranger.
It kind of
up into the air, wasn't it?
Yeah, he took it really well, and the door kind of opened up, but then they ran into retreating Sheffield players.
Billy Walkley takes a carry just outside his own 20. Ball shuffled across the centre of the field. Sheffield still in possession, just over the 30-metre line now. It's going to be picked up by Kai Morgan, the former Salford player, passing down this right-hand side to Bauer. Bauer tackled by 3. Has to yield to the challenge as well, does Bauer. He'll play it to Johnson. Johnson into the middle with Riley. Riley is a real workhorse, takes another carry to his tally, put down on the halfway line. We're about 8 minutes into the game, still 0-0 if you're just joining us. Run comes in from Joe Brown, former Bradford and York player. Plays it just over the 40-metre line inside the Barrow half. Here's Abdul, goes through one challenge, gets a kick away. Walkley's after it, gets a toe on it, and who's there to collect? But Broadbent, who splits the line and then gets dragged down just over the 20-metre line. They recovered well there, did Sheffield?
Great work there. Initially good work by Jordan Abdul.
Big collision. They've lost the ball of Barrow just outside their own 20-metre line. Sheffield have recovered in the form of Kieran Gill. Into the middle with Matongo. Straight down the middle they go, taking on Bullock, taking on Bishop. About 10 metres away from the try line here, Sheffield. Ball shuffled right. Griffin, then handed on by Morgan. Then the fullback Brown bounces off one challenge, goes down the right-hand side, tackled 10 metres out from the try line, 10 metres in from touch. Picked up by Oakes, who sends it into the middle with Kai Morgan. Riley again takes the settler, hits it up, wins a penalty for his side. Offside is the call, so Sheffield have had the first 2 penalties of this game. A game that is now 9 minutes old, and they're just 5 metres away from the try line.
Yeah, it's just tempting fate a little bit. That's twice now they've gifted field position to Sheffield, and like I say, they will take advantage of it. I think they've got a 2-pointer coming here now.
What do you think of this? You know, because I know I'm a little bit old school, me, so I do like it when teams get in good positions and they take the goal points, because you can chip away and chip away and chip away into a game, can't you?
They'll be thinking, you know, it shows that that's the tactics that they're looking for this afternoon, and they know it's going to be a tight game. So they're taking, if they get up here, come away with some points, and that's what they'll be doing now, just to settle the game down a little bit. It's the first 10 minutes just completed. You know, let's just have something positive on the board and get a bit of momentum. You know, like Abdul's just starting to come, and he's a very experienced player, ex-Castleford player, Hull, and you know, he can dictate this game if he's allowed to.
Oh, I've seen him dictate twice against Workington this season, while he was playing for Widnes first of all, and then when he just joined Sheffield. So he steps up now, left-footed kicker. There is no doubt in the world that was ever going to be anything but 2 points. 8th goal of the season for him. Sheffield in front by 2 points to nil.
Did he play for Toronto as well? I think he was out there on that.
I think he was linked with them at one point, but he never actually joined them.
Right.
He ended up signing for Catalan's Dragons, so he did go and play out on the frontiers, shall we say. Always been a decent player. Glad to see him back involved in rugby league.
Clever footballer.
Because he took some time out, didn't he, as well? And but great to see him back, you know, playing rugby league and dictating games. So hopefully he doesn't dictate this one too much. As much as I respect him. Kicks it long by Brad Walker.
A good kick, that.
Oh, it is. Oh, he's nearly out of play. Is he out of play? He is out of play, he's Walkley.
That's a great kick, that.
Wonderful kick.
I'm just trying to look. Yeah, there is a little bit of wind assist there, but just put it in the right place. You know, another 2 metres on the kick, it'd have gone all the way. But he's just put that between the winger and the fullback, and the pair of them got in each other's way, really.
So this is going to be a drop out from under the post from Sheffield Eagles to the Barrow Raiders, and it's sent high and sent short. Matongo was sprinting after this one. Well taken. Superb take there from Bishop, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
He rose high for that one. He's only a little fella.
Yeah. He's about 2 foot shorter than the 3 round in there then.
Here's Robson, 10 metres out from the try line. Was very impressive last week in my opinion. Off to the right hand side it goes Johnston linking with Brad Walker. This is Stack. Kieran Gill just getting to grips with him, pushing him out towards that left hand side as far as the Sheffield defence is concerned. He's about 2 metres shy of the line. Back into the middle it comes. Here's Bullock. A real power pack run that. Challenged 3 players. Eventually they hold him. and stopping about 2 metres out. They're heading towards the post here with Brad Walker. Just threw a dummy, it didn't open. Griffin doing ever so well, but he's managed to scramble his way to the line. He's held up. Oh, he had no right to get that far, to be honest, in Brad Walker. I really like Brad as a player. I think that he's a decent 6 at this level.
He is. He's found a lot more consistency in his game.
Here's Tom Walker, big charge from him. Nice to see him back after an injury hit spell. Is this going to be a turnover? Everybody's looking a little bit confused. I didn't actually see the referee's call of it being a turnover or being the 5th tackle actually, but Sheffield don't mind. They've recovered possession. Here comes Oakes, formerly of Hull Kingston Rovers. That was a horrible offload. They're allowed to play on. Here's Brown, managed to shuffle his way towards the 20 metre line. Impressive stuff from Brown, to be fair, but it was an awful offload. Into the middle it comes. Miller has come off his wing position to hit the ball forward. Makes about 5 metres after contact. There was 3 players around him. Walker and Broadbent all over him. Abdul has it in the middle, drops it back over his shoulder for Matongo. He's just trying to catch a couple of lazy defenders out, but they were aware of it with Barrow. 30 metres out from their own try line, Sheffield. Ball sent down this right side to Bauer. It did look forward. I think the popular side beneath us has helped win that one, to be fair, but it did look forward, to be fair to Sheffield Eagles, and it will be Barrow who will take possession again in a decent position.
Sorry.
I was just going to say Tom Walker's in all kinds of trouble. He's on his haunches.
Yeah, he's. I'm not quite sure what his problem is there.
I think it was when Matongo went straight at him, didn't he?
Yeah. He's a big unit, isn't he?
Anyway, sorry Graham, I interrupted you when you was going to come up with a point.
I'm just saying that hopefully this is an opportunity for the Raiders to spend a bit of time. This will be the second set in the good ball area where they can actually make some attacking options.
And I mean, to be fair, for much of this first 14 minutes, it does seem to have been played far more down at the other end of the field rather than
it has.
The end that Sheffield is attacking.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a narrow advantage that Sheffield hold by just 2 points to 0. A penalty goal after 9 minutes from Abdul. We're now 14 minutes into the game. Everyone's okay to continue and the scrum is fed. Bishop sends it right. Brad Walker gets rid of it to Tia. Tia takes on the defence. No way through on this occasion for the former Wathbrow Hornet as it's run through the middle by Barrow Raiders, just approaching that 20 metre line. Bishop in at dummy half, goes to Bullock. Just had to slow down his run to take in the ball, and as a result the defence was able to get to him, but he still made nearly 10 metres. Quick play the ball across to Brad Walker. He'll play it left. Johnston out to Cresswell. Cresswell onto Toll. Onto Broadbent. Good defence from Miller. Miller just holding him up. 5 metres out from the line. Tackle count has been wiped down. Holding down was the call. Infield the ball is moved to Bishop. He gets rid of it quickly to Walker, who takes the settler, does Tom. 10 metres from that try line, rolled on his back by the Sheffield Eagles defence. Bishop moves into dummy half, goes short down the left hand side to Robson. Headlong for the try line, but he's about 6 or 7 metres shy of the line. He'll play this again to Bishop. Lovely hands onto Johnston. Excellent pass to Brad Walker. Cresswell under pressure. Tia was under pressure. You could see what he was doing. He was trying to shuffle the ball across to Bullman. There's a couple of times it looks like they've had a bit of success down that right hand side and slightly better handling. I don't mean to be ultra critical here, but slightly better handling, and we could have already seen 2 tries.
Just a little bit of a better exexecution. They shifted the ball really there well, and they had a cut out pass that really got them an edge out on that right wing. Just like you say, a pity they couldn't just finish it off.
However, it's another set that Sheffield are having to try and clear their own lines.
This is where they need to really get really strong in defence and try and make force a mistake by, I nearly said Bradford then.
Well, there's a couple of ex-Bradford players that do play for Sheffield, so I'll accept that one, to be honest, as Bauer takes that carry to the 20 metre line. He'll play to Johnson. Johnson onto Brown, one of those aforementioned former Bradford players. Tell you what, he's a big lad for a fullback, isn't he?
He is.
More like a second row man as he's played the ball. Griffin gets rid of it quickly onto Abdul. Cleverly he switches it back looking for Kieran Gill, but the door is shut by the Barrow defence. 3 players were in front. The blue and white wall held. And now Griffin goes through that middle again. Still struggling to make those metres. They've reached the last tackle. Barrow have done a good job in this set. They're kicking from just outside their own 40-metre line through Abdul. Just got that to float on the air, and he bounces up awkwardly in front of Broadbent, but he'll start the counter-attack. And that's excellent metres again. And he's such an awkward frame, isn't he, Broadbent?
He's all elusive,
He's all arms and legs. They've won a penalty here of Barrow. Offside is the call. So that's the first penalty of the game as far as Barrow are concerned.
Very, very knowledgeable is this side of the stand, isn't it? The popular side.
Hey, they're really good. I hope, you know what, because I mean, I know there's a half serious point that I'm going to make now, because obviously here in Cumbria especially, there's a lack of match officials, isn't there? You know, we see a lot of the same guys who get appointed to matches. It would be great if some of these guys would actually do the ref courses. We wouldn't have that problem then, would we? But anyway, I digress. Barrow are 20 metres away from the try line. Bishop plays it into the middle. King gets rid of it quickly. Here's the running from Harvey Makin. On from the bench, 10 metres shy of the line, just to the left-hand side of the post. He'll play it to Bishop, who sends it right. King throws a dummy. He's in! He's in again! 11 try of the season now. Wonderful, wonderful run from King. And what he did really, really well was he just feigned. It was ever so slight of a feint to pass. And Riley fell for it, hook, line and sinker.
Yeah, also there's a very, very well taken try. You look outside and we had Bullock. Bullock was running a big, fast, hard line, 3 metres out. So the defenders have got half an eye on Bullock coming as well. And like you say, King, he just moved his footwork, moved into space, ghosted half a yard, planted the ball down. And that's why he's been so good in the middle this season, isn't it? Because he offers a real point of difference where, you know, he has got the hands. I'm going to sound like I'm on Phoenix Nights here, but he's got the hand speed. He's got the hand speed, you know, but he's also got the foot speed and the footwork, and that's another decent try. But like you say, that doesn't happen if the outside players don't make the run. Exactly, So they were just taking away the eye of the defender, and it just puts them half a yard behind where they should be, and half I'm going to say a stone, a few kilos out of the hit. If it was just Kingy coming on his own, he'd throw everything into it, but they can't afford to with the runners that are running off him.
19 minutes gone, Barrow in front by 4 points to 2. He's made that 6 points to 2. It's another goal off the boot for Brad Walker this season, who is now up to 72 goals and a drop goal this year. You know what, I had to do some extra research this week, because I noticed that my go-to is usually the Rugby League Record Keepers website, and it's not been updated for the last 6 games for Barrow.
Has it not?
So funnily enough, that was the last time that I did a Barrow game, about 6 games. So I was going through, I was thinking, I was at the start of this run, you know. So that was over at Newcastle Thunder, that. So I just had to go back through all the rugby papers and try and tot everything up. Anyway, it's 6 points to 2, more importantly, in favour of the Barrow Raiders. Kick-off goes short, well taken by Brown for the Sheffield Eagles, and they're on the attack straight away. I like that bit of variation, to be honest, from the Eagles. Infield it comes to Oakes. Power pat run. Tell you what, if he was a 6-footer, he'd be still in Super League, wouldn't he, Oakes? Off to the left it's moved. Here's Riley. Takes on Bullock, flicks the ball back for Johnson. Johnson back to Griffin. Griffin through the middle. Funnel his way towards the post, 5 metres out from the try line, plays it quickly. Johnson off to the left hand side. Abdul on to Morgan. Lovely hands. They're going in. Has he grounded that? He's not grounded that. It would have been easier for him to score, and Walker has fluffed his lines there, and it's just bounced away.
They've come away with they've rode the luck there, the Raiders. Tia's coming, took that really well.
15 metres gain there from the 20 metre tap. He spotted something down this left hand side. Robson funnels his way forward to the halfway line. Good work from him. Quick play the ball to Broadbent. He'll again chew through the metres, 40 metres out from the try line. Rolled on his back by 3 players in the end from a Sheffield Eagles point of view. Riley gets back. They're giving away another set of 6 here of the Eagles. Coming through that middle is Making. So they're inviting pressure here, the Eagles. Barrow playing An incredibly quick pace of game as Stack sends it wide looking for Bullman. Bullman surrounded by players but still manages to make the meters. 15 out from the try line. He'll play it on that far right side. It comes towards the middle again. Bullock takes over. Power pack run.
A fantastic run again there by Bullock. You know, he's got the right surname, hasn't he?
Oh, he
just says it all.
Here's Brad Walker. Double pumps it, sends it to Johnston. Johnston does a full 360, comes back towards the post, drifts across to the right, gets through the challenge of Walker, eventually falls to the stop there of Kai Morgan. 12 metres out from the try line. Barrow go from dummy half. The link up play is superb. Here's Meakin stretching out. He's got over under the posts. Super run. Lightning quick play of the ball. And what a pass from Bishop.
Yeah, really great. Again, really good work by the Raiders. They upped the game there. They upped the tempo. They went quick from dummy half. You know, they a really up tempo sort of set of 6. You know, they got the restart, and then, like you say, great little pass there from Bish.
Tell you what, it looks like he's been playing well in the absence of Josh Wood.
He has.
Bishop.
He has. And the thing is with him, he's my type of halfback.
Okay.
I'll admit that. I'll put it out there. He likes to take it up the guts, and he looks and he sees space and he sees pictures in his mind, 2s on 1s, 3 on 1. You know, when the defender's at a disadvantage because he's been left on the floor, and he'll take that, and that's what you need. You need to be up and at it round them 10 metres either side of the play of the ball, and that's exactly what the Raiders did there. You know, they had the backs come in, Broadbent come in. He took a quick one. A couple of them took quick ones there from round the ruck, and it put that ideal field position there for them.
He was certainly scanning, wasn't he? There was Bishop and Making providing the run, the Wigan youngster. The goal is a good one again from bang in front of the sticks from Brad Walker. The scoreline has been advanced. Now it's looking a little bit more representative of sort of the pressure that Barrow have had. They now lead by 12 points to 2 to the Raiders.
Yeah, when they've had defence to do, when they've been on their own line, the Raiders, they have scrambled pretty well, haven't they? And they've managed to force the error a couple of times. One time over the line when they could have scored, and that's the Raiders have got to be credited with that.
So Sheffield back on the halfway line. What tricks will Jordan Apple attempt this time? He went short with the last kick.
Yeah. Just looking at Ryan King there and his body language as they're preparing to start again. You know, he looks like he's enjoying himself.
He does.
You know, when he's playing this game.
It's a medium range restart. Bounces in behind Broadbent, who does well to shuffle back and collect amidst the heavy traffic of 3 Sheffield Eagles players who came after him. Miller putting the tackling in the end. Here's Toll on the next carry. Just less than 30 metres away from their own line here. Barrow. Oh, that's a strong carry. Nice quick hit up again from Makin. Kept his feet going as well to the 40. Plays it quickly. They play some really intelligent stuff around the ruck. I noticed Forber's gone on now and he's carried on scanning, sends it to King. Now Richards has replaced Bullock.
I'm not sure if Forber was up here on loan a couple of seasons ago.
Was it?
You know, yeah, and I think it was him. I don't.
Ooh, that tackle looked a little suspect. I thought the referee was going to penalise. I think he was waiting to see if any advantage, because there was a half break from Billy Walkley. I've got to say, for Billy Walkley, he is a pint size. He fits the typical description of a pint size winger. There is nothing about him at all, but he is wick and he is wiry.
Yeah.
And he rode with that high challenge and
a pint size winger.
Pint size winger. Yeah.
Right.
You don't see many of them about, but he's quite small in stature, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, you think of people like over the years, like Henderson Gill and that played for Wigan and things.
Yeah.
You know, and the stature of them, and it was that low centre of gravity and pace that really got them through.
Wonder whether Billy remembers players like that as Sheffield come forward towards the halfway line. Reece Butterworth, another former Hull Kingston Rovers player in the lineup, plays it just on the 50-metre line. Abdul brings it across the middle, links with Griffin. The defence was sprung though, 3 Barrow players coming in to make the stop. Butterworth scans, sends it right. Morgan through hands out to Brown, just had to juggle with it, but still takes the defence on and still made 15 metres on that carry. 10 metres away from the touchline, about 25 out from the try line. Last tackle has been reached for Sheffield. Morgan into the middle with Abdul. Abdul gets his kick away. He was able to name his spot. Well taken, however, by Bullman. Writes the challenge well. He's starting the counter-attack. Drives through a couple of prop forwards there to make it 15 out from his line.
Did the Raiders winger.
Let's see how the Raiders get away from trouble this time. Curtis Tier, the next carrier. He's 20 metres away from his line now. Hope you're enjoying coverage this evening, courtesy of the BBC Sports website and app. My name's Dave Parkinson, alongside Graham Dale. Barrow leading by 12 points to 2. I'm loving this game so far. I hope that's coming across anyway. It's Stack on that right hand side. Tackle 40 metres from his own line. Slower play the ball. Forber kicks forward from that position. I like it when you get hookers that can do that, but as he overcooked it, it's just gone out on the full. And again, that's the fraction of about half a metre.
Unlucky there. It was a cracking idea.
I like it when you get dummy halves that can kick as well, because it means everybody's on side on the chase, aren't they?
Yeah.
But it's invited Sheffield to come onto the Barrow defence again, 40 metres away from the try line. Referee's actually saying you can come forward an extra couple of steps here, to be fair. So they do, the Sheffield, and then Griffin links with Morgan. It comes down this right hand side with Bauer. Bauer tries to ride the challenge of 3 defenders. King gets in, forces him backwards. Ball played. Morgan into Griffin. Griffin dropping it back, looking for some support. I think that's Blake Broadbent, son of ex-club legend Paul Broadbent. Off to the left-hand side. There's Riley, slips it out, looking for Abdul, who gets rid of it quickly. Broadbent fires it out to Bauer. Bauer comes down this right-hand side, 20 metres out from the line. Again, drags 3 defenders in, does the second row man. 12 metres in from the touchline. Wasn't happy with that challenge, was Bauer. He's pointing, sends it into the middle. Blake Broadbent takes the settler, 12 metres away from the line. As far as the Sheffield Eagles are concerned, they trail by 10 in this one, as Butterworth opens it out to Morgan, who sends it to Abdul, who sends it wide to Brown. Brown across to Walkley. He goes on the outside. Wonderful tackle at the end to get him into touch. Wow, that was a super tackle from Cresswell.
Yeah, great. He came across there to help his winger out.
Because he got past Bullman, hasn't he?
That'd have been a try if he hadn't got that across there. So not only is he the highest scoring fullback in Barrow Rugby League's history, he saved a few as well.
Oh, definitely. I bet he saved as many as he scored, in his career.
Yeah, now wouldn't that be a stat to have?
It would, wouldn't it? I wish I had stats like that. Maybe I should start keeping him from next season.
Yeah.
That's another one to the stat pile. Here's Barrow in possession. Now they're just over 20 metres away from their own line in the middle of the field. Forbes scanning left and scanning right. Sends it left, looking for an early kick from Johnston. Johnston sends it long. It's bouncing, bobbling, trickling towards the touchline. Brown's got to get on his bike and does. Faces up to Broadbent, who brings him down.
Great chase.
Just 20 metres from their own line. He's going to have to play it as well. Butterworth sends it infield, looking for the running of Miller. Vastly experienced player is Miller. Remember him having a really couple of prolific seasons for Sheffield a couple of years ago. Plays it on the 30 metre line, sent into Walkley, who fires it out to Gill. They then sent it further wide to Foster, who gets it out to Gill. This is fantastic play from the Eagles, the support on the middle, and it's there from Walkley. Put down your glasses, he's going in for try number 17 of the season. Wonderful counter-attack that from Sheffield Eagles. It was high speed, the offload came in, all created by Foster back on his own 40 metre line. But they were clinical when they hit them.
Yeah, they hit that edge well, didn't they? Hit the space, and they like say, he come inside really well, and Luke Cresswell was just too many yards down there. He couldn't manage to stop that.
To be fair, it was like King Canute, because he got the 2 players that were coming at him. So either way, it was a loser for him, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. You've either got to take the man or take the ball, and like you say, just too much there for one man on his own. He is only one man, I think.
He has been superhuman. He's given some superhuman efforts to this club, hasn't he?
He has, definitely.
I remember one of his best games, actually, and it's a few years ago. And I remember Barrow played Lee in, I think it was the prelude to the 1895 Cup a few years ago. And it had to be played at St Helens for some reason. It wasn't played at Lee. And Lee just won that evening by 19-18.
Right.
But I think Cresswell scored a try, and he was everywhere.
Yeah.
He was like a little dynamo. He was just popping up all over the shop, and I was like looking, thinking, what a fullback he is.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, here's Abdul with the conversion attempt. This to put Sheffield back within 4 points of the Raiders, to be fair. And he spent that long lining it up. There's a gust of wind which has blown the ball off its tee.
Yeah, he could almost backheel that over from there under the sticks, going.
I thought one of the seagulls flying around had actually blown it off the tee for a minute.
Yeah.
So here's Abdul, gets another attempt at the goal. Referee Aaron Belafonte says he's had enough of this and has asked one of the Sheffield Eagles players to go and lend him a hand if necessary, or a fingertip.
Now, that's a first.
That's a first. Luke Broadbent has said, we'll get this done. So he holds the ball up and Abdul kicks. Well, that's sportsmanship on view right there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't think the popular side thought that. I think they were expecting him to just trickle it towards himself.
So Abdul with his second goal, 12 points to Barrow, 8 points to the Sheffield Eagles. It's an entertaining game with 9 minutes of the first half remaining.
It is. We always knew it was going to be tight. Been tight so far.
Third place Barrow up against seventh place Sheffield, who actually have a game in hand of those teams above them. Brad Walker keeps his kick-off restart low. Bounces up awkwardly for Abdul, who takes it in. Then he rumbles it back and runs it back like a prop forward over that 30-metre line. 10 metres in from touches where he'll play it to Gill. Gill links it into the middle. Walkley stepped off his wing. I do like this kid. Joined another fan club as well. How many fan clubs can I join over the course of a season? As Riley in the middle, big and tough, up to the halfway line. Charlie Emsley's is on as well for Barrow Raiders. Came up with the stop as Morgan gets rid of it down this right side to Bauer. Again, Bauer surrounded by 3 players. They've done a good watching brief on him so far. Robson, one of the 3 players to put the stop in. Good tiptoeing run that from Oakes. He was certainly motoring forward to the 30. Now Morgan in centre field. Sends it left. Abdul kicks it high. Good take there from Bullman. There's never any doubt that he was going to do that, and they were a bit too keen and eager with Sheffield. Any one of 2 players were offside.
Yeah.
2 or 3 really.
Spotted that well there, the ref.
So Barrow have their third penalty now. Send it to the touchline down into that Willie Horn stand. Ball to be tapped about 35 metres away from their own line. Tia scans, picks where he's going to run. Gains some excellent metres beyond contact as well. He stopped virtually on the halfway line. Forber onto Richards. That was a power pack run as well from the former St Helens man. Forber to his right hand side. Lovely sleight of hand to Jared Stack from Brad Walker. Down that right hand side. Just less than 30 metres away from the try line of the Raiders. That's a scrappy pass, but cleaned up well by Making. The last try scorer from a Barrow point of view. Plays it 25 out. It's sent left to Johnston. Johnston takes on the line. Oh, he's lost the ball as well under pressure from Griffin. It's been picked up by Sheffield Eagles, so no more points will go to the Barrow Raiders on this occasion. And Sheffield will look to get on their bike and get down the ground as quickly as they can, but with defence like that from Richards, they're going to find the going tough. Miller plays it quickly. Off left it's moved to Walkley. Walkley. Big hit coming in from Stack. There's a mismatch. Certainly a mismatch there. Little and large. Here's Foster. Player with Newcastle connections. Also played for Leeds and Castleford. Big run coming in from Peachy. 100th appearance today for him. Over the halfway line he went. Last tackle has been reached from a Sheffield point of view. Ball kicked low, kicked into the centre. Good pick up from Cresswell. He looks at where he can run, tries to catch Griffin out. Griffin was not to be outdone there. And Cresswell will play it just inside his own 30. Johnston, the skipper, hands on to Bullman. Bullman seems to like that physicality.
Yeah.
Two big uns wrap him up. Broadbent tries to use his footwork, but again, this is a good controlling set so far for Sheffield. They'll be really happy with what they're doing so far in the set. Forber picks up, makes some excellent yards out of dummy half, does really, really well. He's made nearly 20 metres there. Plays it to Cresswell. He goes short to Broadbent, but Broadbent wasn't really expecting it. Cleans it up, referee says play on. Broadbent scanning right, slides a little kick in. Walkley's there to cut it off. Runs for the middle, takes on Johnston, rounds him. Takes on Robson, gets past him, feeds the ball right. They're on the flow here at the Sheffield Eagles. It goes as far as Roger Miller. And then that's a brilliant tackle from Toll, who clutches at his head. He's feeling the after effects of it. Walkley, meanwhile, scans and gets over the halfway line in the centre of the field, does the mini winger. Plays it to Butterworth. Butterworth onto Brown. Good yards through the middle from Joe Brown again.
A shot on this right edge now.
They've spotted it as well. It's sent down to Oakes. Oakes has Miller alongside him, doesn't use him. Referee says you'll have to take that tackle because he started to make the movement in field, but Bauer had disadvantaged him. Bauer goes down the right. Bauer. Oh, is he in? He is. He's managed to get it down. For a second, it looked like he was going to be held up, but then he was just able to turn his body just about 30 degrees and managed to plonk the ball down in the corner. I was going to say, after the decision that he made, he had to score that try. That's because he could have given it his winger there, and the winger would have had a walk in at the corner.
Yeah, unfortunately, that came about by Shane Toll's bravery, really. There, he put his head in the wrong place then, and just felt the knock. He got a knock there, and he was on the ground. And like you say, they had a 4-on-3 there, and they took advantage of it, of Sheffield.
Bauer crosses for the try.
This kick to come and take the lead.
Third try of the season that for Bauer. Tell you what, he's going some is Abdul if he'll kick this one, because it's right on the touchline. And I've seen him have some wayward days with the boot, but I've also seen him have some cracking days with the boot as well.
Well, if anything, as a left foot kicker, it's swinging the right way, but it has got quite a strong breeze that he's kicking against, so it may well fade.
I was going to say it's a nice cooling breeze. We've got clouds overhead, but there is a bit of blue sky.
Yep. Which I'm glad to see.
I'm glad to see it as well, to be fair. So Abdul just rearranged with one of the sponsors' boards to make sure that he's got enough space and enough of a run up to this kick. He's got two supporters just to his left hand side who no doubt are whispering things in his ear.
Get a bit of stick off the local side.
In he steps now, does Abdul. Has he got enough of that? It's a good attempt, but it's across the face of the uprights and means that we are level at 12 all with 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Well, this is
12 all.
Everything that I expected in this game.
Yep, tight, really tight, close, hard-fought game. Whoever takes these points this afternoon will have earned them.
Oh, definitely. So Brad Walker on the halfway line, sends his kick long. Fielded by Walkley, who sends it to Peachy, former Castleford man. Romps his way to the 20-metre line. Plays the ball to Butterworth. Butterworth sets off on a little foray. Wrapped up by Elmsley. Abdul moves it into the arms of Gill, popping up in the middle of the field there, Kieran Gill, relieving the pressure off his forwards. Butterworth goes to the left hand side and goes to Griffin, who's had a really good outing this evening for the Sheffield Eagles. Been impressed with his efforts.
Yeah, he's been consistent and he's took the ball to the line really well.
And this fella Brown makes a ton of metres. 5 metres away from the try line on the last tackle. It goes left. Abdul keeps his kick low, fires it in behind. Cresswell is there, perfect positioning from the fullback. Starts the counter attack, tries to step between Griffin and Peachy. In the end, has to fall to the challenge from both of those players on the 20 metre line. Bullman spins, twists. Oh, he's done well. Gets a one-on-one and carries his way forward. He's won a penalty for his side as well, because Sheffield were offside in front of the referee. Really good play that from Bullman. Really well won.
Again, on the back of a quick play, the ball. Players down and run at players that have got the backs turned.
Into the last minute of this first half. The home fans getting behind their charges. In runs Greg Richards. Makes 5 or 6 metres down that right hand side. About 15 in from touch. Into a more central position now goes Makin. Like what I've seen of this forward as well, Makin.
Yeah, he's tough. I know Paul Crary a big fan of his.
Stack feeds it to no one in particular. It's been cleaned up by Walkley. Ducks beneath the challenge. Tries to burst into the backfield. He's an exciting runner and he's put down 40 metres from his own line. Gill fires it into the middle. What a pass that was to Morgan. Morgan finds Bauer. Bauer's got a bit of space. Charlie Emsley cuts it off. Oh, he's got an offload away to Oakes. Oakes goes forward, good run, down this right hand side to Miller. Miller tries to outstrip Broadbent, gets the passing field, it's intercepted by Johnston, who fires it into the arms of Tia. And now Tia has broken the line. The hooter sounds, Johnston on the halfway line, and Johnston just caught from behind. Referee's whistle sounds, the hooter went as well, as you probably heard in the background, and we go to the break at 12 points each. Wow, what a half.
Yeah, that was end to end, that, wasn't it? Pulsating. Just unfortunate there, Ryan Johnson just got collared as he thought he might have been able to break away. But yeah, fantastic first half there. You know, both teams started really well. They've both continued. They're taking the ball. They're using the sets really well. They're getting decent kicks away. Like you say, the Raiders initially looked as though they might be taking some ascendancy, but fair play, Sheffield have come back at them and kept them honest and kept them working hard to get anything out of this game.
The first sort of 9 minutes saw Sheffield go 2-0 to the good, but ultimately I thought that was a little bit against the run of play, but I don't blame them for taking the points that were on offer at that stage. The first try came after 18 minutes, and who else but Ryan King to score it. Lovely little feigned work, bit of footwork from him. As you mentioned, Graham, Bullock was shooting on the right hand side of him, which took the sting away from the challenges that were going to head his way, and it was a good try, converted by Walker for 6 points to 2. Then Makin went over 4 minutes later. A real good effort down the middle, and that was after some excellent scanning and work from Alex Bishop in particular. Brad Walker converted to make it 12 points to 2, and at that stage the Raiders were flying. I thought that they were really on top, but fair play to Sheffield. They have hit back, and they scored 2 tries in 6 minutes. The first of those came on the 30th minute when Walkley finished some excellent work down the left hand side. Foster had got the ball away. I think it was Gill who carried on the movement, and then it was finished by Walker for his 17th try of the season. Abdul converted to make it 12 points to 8, and then just 3 minutes from the end of the first half, Bauer went in to make it 12 all. Really interesting first half. That loved it.
Yeah, it was. You know, like a good first half. The thing is, for the Raiders this afternoon, in the second half, they're going to be playing into the wind, so they're not going to get the trajectory and then the success with the end of set kick. So they've got to really try and be clever and try and think about what they can do to maybe get the ball off the field and into touch, so that the game's a restart with both defences set or a defence set, you know, as opposed to running an unbroken defence.
We're going to step away from the mics for just a couple of minutes, but what I do want to play here is the thoughts of Paul Crary as he spoke to Dan Payne last week after what was an outstanding victory for the Barrow Raiders at Workington.
Almost plain sailing until about 10 minutes away from the end. 56 points to 0 up, but plenty of injuries and plenty of things to talk about today.
Yeah, we lost Matty Costello in the warm-up with a calf strain. He pulled out his cell, we given an option to start, and he just said he didn't want it to affect the team, so he pulled out. Charlie comes into the side, does really well. 56-0 up, I thought we were in control. That was a big word all week, be in control. I thought we were magnificent, really. Defended 30 tackles on our goal line in the first 5 minutes and were solid. And then we picked up a few injuries, hyperextension for Joe Bullock on his elbow, T. Ritson. So we haven't come out of it that healthy. Ryan King with a little strain. And then the last 7 minutes we lost control. Penalties, Brody comes in late on a tackle. There's nothing in it really. I didn't think it warrants a sin bin, maybe a penalty. And then it was back to the wall and we finished the game with 11 on the field because, we lost that with sin bin and then injuries. So we didn't finish that strong, and I think they scored a couple of tries probably when we put the queue on the rack, but it was the most, I spoke to my half-time of being the most complete performance all year. We looked comfortable, we scored some brilliant tries in the conditions, we weren't afraid to play. We said that we could play if they were up flat. Their wingers are pretty up flat, so we were allowed to kick behind them, and we tortured them with our long-range kicks and played through the middle brilliant. I thought Ryan King in his first spell was outstanding. We tried to rest him for the rest of the game after that spell, but we didn't. We had to put him on towards the end because we run out of bodies. But really complete performance, fantastic result. I didn't expect that scoreline of 56 points. I'm going to be honest. I thought it'd have been nip and tuck, but I thought we were so good for probably 72, 73 minutes, and then we had a bit of adversity that to deal with, and we didn't really adjust because I think we were trying to see the game out.
56 points at this level against any team is always a great achievement in itself. I want to take you back to before kick-off. The windy conditions, I say windy, it's almost like a hurricane at times out there. How much did they change your tactics moving into this one?
We just played a little bit shorter. We went to our edges when we looked to go through the middle, playing long. We played short and we kicked the ball really well, and it was all about field position for us. Sometimes territory is better than possession. We said that with the wind. We always opt to go into the wind because we do at home. So they opted to kick to us, so we had the chance to go into the wind, and I thought we were magnificent. I think it was 28-0 at half-time into a wind, and we thought it'd be a 14-point wind, in the second half, but it wasn't. We were in front 28-0, and I thought we were good for it. They battle hard in certain areas, but it really didn't become a derby till that last 7 minutes because I don't think they put us under pressure, apart from them 30 tackles they had on our goal line where probably they didn't throw a lot at us to defend, if I'm being honest. And every time we got up their end, we scored a try. So really pleased. I don't know how we're going to come out of it this week. It's a short turnaround as well, because we've got Sheffield on the Saturday. So we'll probably dip into our squad again. If it'd be nice to get T on the field because I think he's only 2 away from the all-time record after a hat trick today. So we're going to try and get him back on the field. Hopefully Joe might play. If not, we'll just bring some of our young players in like we have all year. Finley, Dutton Rosconi is doing a great job for us, and we could have dipped into the loan market and we haven't done that.
You were talking there about T. Ritson's record. We were talking on commentary today. Is it something that has been discussed in training? Is it something going on in the changing rooms? Because it seemed like a lot of the play today, when the game was almost put to bed, was aimed towards him on that left edge.
I don't think we mention it, but I think lads want to see him do it. It's a massive thing. I mean, you sent me a stat this week about Luke Cresswell being, the highest scoring fullback for Barrow of all time, which is, and if we start breaking records across the board as a group, we're doing something right, aren't we, as a team? T. Ritson's up there, could break the record. Luke Cresswell, even myself on games played. So, we're a tight-knit group that want to do well for each other. It's pretty crazy at training, really, sometimes, but, the lads are turning up for each other and playing, and so why disrupt that? I want it to be a professional but a light-hearted environment where they enjoy coming because they might have rubbish going on at home, rubbish going on at work. So I want an environment to be the best, and I think by creating that, we're getting the best out of the players, and they're so together, this group, it's unbelievable. I think they'd run through a brick wall for each other. You can see that when it ramped up at the end and become a real, a bashathon with 7 minutes to go, But credit to work it, and they didn't give up, and scored some nice tries at the end. I thought Jack Stevenson had a great game. Callum Phillips was outstanding. He must have made tackle after tackle after tackle. So, they've got a recipe for a good side, but they're growing as a club and they're building. And it takes time to build into a championship team, and I wish them all the best in doing that.
So those were the thoughts of Paul Crary after last week's win. What do you think he'll have thought of that first half, to be honest,
can't
Graham?
hear.
We're saying, put your headphones back on, Graham.
All right.
I was just saying, we heard from Paul Carey there speaking about the like the game last week, which I know he was very, very happy with, for the bulk of it. What do you think he'll have thought of that first half?
I think he'll think they started well, and it was always going to be tight. I think he'd like to see them sharpen up just a little bit on maybe a couple of unforced errors that they've done. I think they took a couple of wrong options with trying to force the ball, trying to kick the ball maybe a bit early in the set. So I think he might just have a little chat about that. But I think the difference between the two teams, although the scoreboards are level, the difference between the two teams in the first half, I think Sheffield have played with a lot of shape, with no real individuals. I mean, if John Nadbull had 4 or 5 yards more of pace, he might be more of a threat, whereas the Raiders have got that threat up the middle, on the edges, and I think that's what they'll be looking to try and do again. So that's maybe why Sheffield have kind of been in the game still, but not taken over the game, because they haven't had the opportunity, or they haven't created the opportunity to get points ahead. Whereas the Raiders have clearly shown 2 or 3 occasions where they could have broke through and scored, but they've just lost the ball, or it's just not quite gone their way. So in this second half, I think he won't want them to do anything other than kind of what they have done, but just cut the small little margin errors out.
And while I've got you really quickly, obviously I know, because Dan was taking the mick out of you last week about how close Barrow Island is to your heart.
It is.
There's been a special individual that's celebrated this week, hasn't there?
John Jefferson, everybody knows him as Jeffo. It's his 80th birthday today, and they're having a big party celebration up at Rating Lane, which is what I left to come to this afternoon. And I just left him in a chair feeling very humbled and very, very embarrassed about the attention, but he is the glue, and he has been for a number of years over Barrow Island, that holds things together. And there's been a lot of I'm getting a bit emotional myself here, but there's been a lot of really nice testimonies to him from a lot of celebrities and coaches that he's worked with, not just people throwing him a compliment, people that he's worked with and are grateful to him. And I think I'll take an example. Adam Jackson, who lives he's on Australia at the moment. He thanked John for all the help that he's done, that he's had with him, throughout his career as a player, and where John stepped in to help. And like I said, not just for him, for hundreds of kids and thousands of kids that he's dealt with. On a personal note, I started and played my first game as a 15-year-old, and John was there then, and he's been there ever since. So he is just. He's like the front door. It's just there. It's there, and every time you need to go to the building, you got to go through that front door.
I mean, it's right that we acknowledge people like that, because if it wasn't for people like that, so many kids, so many players wouldn't have had the opportunity to represent that club with the potential of going on, because there's lots of players that have gone on different journeys, isn't there? And like you said, there's players and people that are like Jeffo, right up and down community rugby league, and I just want to pay tribute to them and tribute to him, because what a man, what a superb fella.
I mean, of all things as well, Kevin Sinfield, now Sir Kevin Sinfield, and rightly so. He was on the video paying a contribution and a thank you to Jeffo when he was a younger player. Jeffo actually coached him, and he thanked him for his guidance and everything that he did for him.
Even I'm getting little hairs standing up on the back of me speaking about it. Wonderful.
It really is a great day in Barrow Island's history.
So the second half just gets up and running, and the kick-off was taken by Barrow, who then fired the ball into the arms of Richards, who reaches his own 20-metre line. In to take a run is Ellis Robson. Again, another solid performance from Ellis in that first half. 12 points each if you're just joining us. What a first half it was. If it's anything like that in the second, we're in for an absolute treat. Emsley's put down 30 metres from his own line, plays it in centre field, 4% it right, nice quick hands out to Stack on this right hand side. Kicks out, wants a quicker play the ball, goes into the middle. Run comes in from Makin, rolled on his back, well controlled on that occasion by Foster from Sheffield Eagles. Ball to the right hand side, kick comes in on the last. It's a hanging kick from Walker. Brown comes for it, takes it just outside his own 20, launches the counter attack. If anything, that was just a fraction too long, that kick.
Yeah.
But still managed to put some pressure on him.
Well, as we said last week, when these kicks go up, the wind stalls it and then pushes the ball back, so it's a cracking tactic.
Here's Blake Broadbent coming through the middle for the Sheffield Eagles. Gets a bit of second effort going as well, and he's just put down near the halfway line. Play to Butterworth, who sends it right to Morgan. A growing influence on this game. Oates pops up and in support, then he offloads, and the ball then ends up one pass later in the arms of Griffin, who for me has been a standout for the Sheffield Eagles. He stopped 40 metres out from the line, lightning quick play the ball. Abdul's coming down this left hand side, plays it out to Brown. Brown throws a dummy, has to take the tackle. Again, I think there was a player that had potentially disadvantaged Barrow, so he had to take the tackle. Abdul on the last, puts it high. Cresswell comes for it, meet and drink for the fullback. Then he steps around the 10 metre mark before deciding that he's going to take the tackle that came in from Griffin. Barrow under a little bit of pressure. Good tackle from Peachy on Broadbent, forcing him backwards towards his own line. Really good tackle that from Sheffield.
It's a signal of intent, that.
Definitely. You're going to have to come through us, that's what that says, isn't it? As Barrow try and make the metres up. Stop just 10 metres from their own line through Toll. Broadbent with another carry. So the backs getting the shirts dirty. Getting into lend some weight to the challenge before Emsley pumps the legs forward, does the Scotland Youth International. Plays it to Forber, he sends it right, kick comes in, under pressure from Brad Walker. Oh, and then it spirals and bounces forward. Barrow have taken it, but it ends up being an all-encompassing tackle coming in there from Morgan on Johnston. But again, you've got to put men in the frame, and that's what Barrow did.
Yeah, that's an example of the kick again. They kicked it long and it held up, and then it bounced, and like a rugby ball can, it bounced back towards the Raiders, who nearly took advantage.
They look a little bit disorganised at the start of this set, the Sheffield Eagles. Ends up with Ryan Miller taking the carry. He's rolled on his back on the halfway line. Emsley, the last man to get up. Reece Butterworth sends it right, looking for the run in there of Peachy. He's won a penalty for his side as well. The popular side aren't happy with that one. He looks a bit unsure though.
He's binned him.
He's been. Is that because of the contact that he's made to Peachy?
Yeah, I think he's.
So Richards has been sin-binned.
I think he's inadvertently had a foot stuck out and he's gone over the foot.
Okay. It was certainly a call which has baffled a lot of people in the crowd. I've got to admit, it's baffled me as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I didn't really see a lot wrong with that at all. I thought he just pulled it back for the tackle.
This is one that I'll be liking to watch back as Abdul fires his kick into touch. Sheffield at the right end of the ground as far as they're concerned. 12 all in this one. Tapped by Oakes, who sends it into Morgan, who then sends it to his left hand side, and running onto that one well is Sheffield Eagles and Broadbent. Off to the right hand side with Morgan, he gets rid of it to Bauer, who's becoming a growing influence down that right hand side for the Sheffield Eagles. 15 metres out from the try line. Morgan pops up in the middle, hands it on to Peachy. Big figure of a front rower is Peachy. Plays it inside the 10. Butterworth sends it to Abdul. Abdul, full of tricks, sends it to Foster. The short run, it was a forward pass. And it's well dealt with there.
It's a big error there from the Sheffield Eagles. You know, they've set up really good shape there, and the half back there, he had it on this right hand side, ready for a play, and like you say, forward pass.
I thought the play was on to go behind. He's played it at the front, man, rather than around the back, and I thought the better move would have been round the back, to be fair, because they seem to have many motion down this left-hand side, but we will never know. And Barrow Raiders, thankfully, as far as they're concerned, will take possession from this scrum, 10 metres from their own line. It's a central scrum, and the ball goes out to Toll, who rides what was a heavy shot that headed his way then from Oates. Broadbent adds a little bit of speed to the movement, but again gets wrapped up. They've certainly made their intentions clear on Luke Broadbent in this second half. Robson tries to buy some metres back, just gets over his own 20-metre line. He comes into the middle with Johnston, who plays it off to Emsley. Again, there's not much space in the middle of that field. 12 all, 6 minutes of the second half gone. Here at the Speed Competition Stadium, as the kick comes in low, bounces and bobbles, juggled there by Brown. Just popped it up into his own hands and clears the halfway line. They're in a good position again, Sheffield.
They are. They're going to come at this Raiders defence.
And they come at them through Gill. Again on each day, one of the silkiest operators in the Championship as far as outside backs are concerned. Into the middle it goes to Griffin. Picks where he's going to try and make the dent. Emsley comes up with a stop. Butterworth will shuffle it right. Morgan, dummies once, dummies twice, takes on the line. Johnston cuts him in two with the challenge, nearly takes the ball off him as well. Ends up being a quick play, the ball though, somehow. And Bauer bounces around, gets free of two defenders, runs for the middle, gets over the 20-metre line. He's strong. Leaves a trail of destruction in his wake. He goes left to Abdul. Abdul kicks in behind. Walkley's after this one. Walkley touches down. I think Walkley has grounded this one. It is given.
Try.
It's 2 tries this afternoon for Walkley, and Sheffield Eagles are in front again. And this is the first time that they've been in front since the 9th minute. We're now 7 minutes into the second half. It was a lovely kick from Abdul, but I'm just going to throw something your way here, Graham, because it was a little bit delayed, was that pass, and it just seemed that Abdul was putting the kick in when there was a player that was just taking some sting away from him. So I'm sort of wondering whether there was a slight element of obstruction.
Yeah.
It was only little.
I know Jared Stack wasn't happy there. He was remonstrating with the referee.
I think he's got a case. I do think he's got a case because, as I say, Abdul had just drifted and it was the slightest of things, but I thought he'd just gone behind him.
Yeah.
Sheffield not complaining though.
No. I was just going to say that, you know, the Raiders, it's important while they've got a man in the sin bin that the complete sets and they keep the ball off Sheffield. Otherwise, you know, with the extra man and with the extra work they've got to do, Sheffield are capable of scoring points.
Yeah, we've just had it confirmed. It was a trip.
Yeah.
That he got. It's fortunate we've got the press box to our left-hand side. So thank you for getting us that little bit of information. We appreciate it. Abdul from out wide. He'll swing the left boot at it. It's right across the face of the uprights. Difficult conversion attempt, but Sheffield Eagles in front by 16 points to 12.
I think he's loving the attention off the popular side. Is John Abdul. He's getting a little bit of stick.
He didn't wave at him, did he, as he was going past?
Sorry?
He didn't wave at him as he was going past.
He did.
I thought there was something, you know, because he got a big grin on his face as he was going over the halfway line.
It's great, it's good, you know, it's all part of the game.
It is.
I don't think there's anything untoward being shouted, just all in good fun.
So Sheffield in front by 16 points to 12 here. Brad Walker gets us underway again. It'll bounce into the arms of Kai Morgan. 5 metres from his own line. He fires it into the middle. And Sheffield eagerly bring it back 15 out from their own line. Butterworth looks up to his left. Peachy is there. His head recoiled, but he still makes the yards, does Peachy. Getting on the front foot. As Sheffield Eagles just hit behind their own 30-metre line. A wide pass to Abdul. He's got a man inside, and they used it well. Griffin, he's gone off the mark there. Referee doesn't penalise him though. He penalises Barrow.
Yeah, I think this popular side not happy with that decision, but it's allowed Sheffield now to come right back at the Raiders.
They're going to be right on the doorstep within a couple of tackles.
And I'll repeat what I said earlier, it's 25 metres that Sheffield just haven't had to work for, which in this game can be quite crucial with how narrow it is between these two sides. So Kieran Gill to tap this ball, about 35 out from the try line. It comes off Abdul into the arms of Griffin, and it's another power pack run from him into the 30. He'll play it to Butterworth, who dummied left, brings it right. Morgan drops it back over his shoulder for Peachy, who beats two players, crashes into the 20-metre line, and just beyond, plays it to Butterworth. Abdul for company. Butterworth takes it on himself, gets away from the setup, drifts across, links it back. It's a power pack run coming in from Broadbent. Broadbent 5 metres out from the line, perhaps a little bit closer than that. Butterworth goes short, goes to Griffin. Griffin tries to scramble over. Has he got it down? Referee says he's held up. Ends up being a superb defensive play from Barrow. I don't know how they were able to hold him up, because just for a fraction of a second it looked like Griffin was going in.
Yeah, it was really well done there by the Raiders. Really stuck in and got the bodies underneath the player.
Tell you what, some real intent though from the Sheffield Eagles. Out wide it goes to Oakes. Oakes 5 metres out from the try line, 10 metres from the touch line. Back in field to Morgan, who fires it to Abdul, who kicks it wide. Gill tries to get in between two defenders. There it's going to be a penalty to Barrow. Bullman took it comfortably enough, and the referee, Mr. Belafonte, decides there was a tackle in the air.
Yeah, again, another set there, another set where they've been put under pressure, they've defended well. You know, now the Raiders are going to have the ball, and they're going to put Sheffield under some pressure as they try to make their way up this field.
Curtis Tier, good run from the centre, made about 10-12 metres with that carry. Plays it to Forber. Bullman is at his shoulder. Bullman running like a prop forward into the middle, and having the attention of a prop forward as well. He's got over the halfway line though. Referee says he pinched an extra metre there, get back, and then tells him you've still not played it from the right mark. So the popular side goes mad at him. Infield it's moved. Making good second purchase. Legs were pumping. Broadbent has to get himself out with that challenge. Forber goes to Emsley. Emsley over the 40-metre line. First proper chance that Barrow have seen really inside the Raiders half in the second half, as Cresswell dances around a couple of defenders, manages to spring up. It's like Zebedee then, the way he just bounced off the ground.
Yeah, he's
off to the right. Kick comes in from Brad Walker. Oh, it's a tester this one for Walkley. Has to get on his bike, rise the challenge. Does well to get away from Curtis Tier. Plays it 5 metres out from his own line. He seemed to wait a couple of seconds till Brown arrived behind him. Again, the popular side letting the referee know all about it.
Yeah.
Morgan plays it right. Miller does well. Slips the ball out under pressure. They've got space. Again, out wide. Here's Oakes. Gets those big legs moving. He's into the half. Feet it infield. That pass look forward to Brown. Greg Eden was at the shoulder. That's his first involvement in a Sheffield Eagles shirt. He's on for his debut, and then he just tried to be a little bit too fancy with the offload, and it drifted forward. It was a pass that a quarterback would have been happy with in American football.
Yeah, great recovery work there as well by the Raiders. You know, Shane Toll again.
14 minutes of the second half gone, which means that we can't be too long until we're back up to full complement from a Raiders point of view.
I think we're getting King back on.
Yeah, and Richards is on the touchline. Richards joins the freight. See, I was watching that one. I'm glad that I was watching that, and I've spotted Richards was like a caged lion down the touchline. He's back on the field. Sin been reversed. Barrow in possession, just crashing over the halfway line through Making. He plays it to his Wigan teammate Forber, who goes to a short running Ellis Robson. You have to be brave when you're running that sort of angle, and he's just over the 40-metre line. Here's Richards, feels that he owes his side something after having that 10-minute rest. To the 30-metre line he goes, off left with Johnston, and Robson rise the challenge, gets an offload going. Here come the Raiders, good running forward as well, that from Forber, 10 metres away from the line. Cresswell moves it to Johnston. Johnston, wide ball to Brad Walker. Further wide it comes to Stack. He misses 2 men out and goes to Bullman. Bullman just drops it back. Tia wasn't ready for it, to be honest. Wrong option. It was never on.
Yeah, somebody needs to square that defence up there and take the ball to them and just make the space and get a quick play of the ball. As it's turned out, it all ended up just a little bit tight. Somebody gets a pass that wasn't expecting it, and it comes off them for a knock-on.
Fair play to Sheffield, because they did map really, really well there, but yeah, it was a pass again that didn't really need to be thrown.
No, just a little bit of desperate sort of tactics there.
15 minutes of the second half gone. Walkley takes possession for Sheffield Eagles, rides the challenge in the middle of the field, makes it as far as the 20 is concerned. I picked him out before when I went through the Sheffield lineup, and he's not disappointed. Morgan throws a dummy, buys his side an extra 12 metres, just over his own 30, comes back into the middle with Riley, back onto the field for a second spell. Again, was really impressed with his efforts in the first half. Plays it on his own 40. Reece Butterworth step behind the 40 to try and get a 40-20 attempt away, and rolls the kick in behind Cresswell, so he has to retreat and pick it up about 10 metres in from the touchline. Starts the counter attack, and he's rolled down on the 20 metre line. What can Toll do? It's a solid hit up from him, just 30 metres from his own line. Plays it to Broadbent. Good work from Broadbent. Oh, the offload should never really have been thrown, and I think it's going to come in favour of Barrow this, because Reece Butterworth just couldn't ground it, or just couldn't drop on it. He ended up knocking it forward.
Yeah, just another unforced error there. These are the sort of little small margins that, that either team, if they were making them, would feel the pain, and the Raiders are going to start feeling the pain in the last 20. I get the impression the Raiders need to score next.
And I'm just watching Broadbent really struggling and receiving a little bit of attention. They're going to try and get him to play on, because obviously they're all forwards on the Barrow bench, so it would mean a bit of a big shuffle, wouldn't it, to try and cover an injured winger, so he's going to have to try and play through the pain barrier. Barrow, meanwhile, as I mentioned before, back up to 13 players. Joe Bullock preparing to come on. Here's Tia, runs forward, good run to the halfway line. Nice quick play of the ball. And Richards follows the play of Tom Forber, who's again checking down this right hand side with Walker, sends it to the middle with Ryan King. Oh, lovely run from King. Stand and deliver, but then he has the ball ripped from his grasp. Lets Riley know all about it as well, as a word in his shell.
Yeah, they just need to calm down a little bit, the Raiders. Just take a little bit of sting out of the game and just reset and just try and build a little bit of pressure.
I think that's what Forber was saying as well. And one player that will settle things down is Joe Bullock. Straight back into action he goes.
Yeah.
And straight away he's charged off 15 metres. So 15 out from the line. Here's Robson on the charge. Going back in field. Stop near the posts. Played out the back. Johnston out to Brad Walker. Rides the challenge. Gets an offload going to Cresswell, who gets away from Walkley in the first instance, and then Bauer comes in to complete the stop. The 10 metres out from the line are the Raiders on this right hand side of the field. King in the middle. Finds support from Bullock. Bullock goes headlong for the line. 2 metres out. Forber. Short ball for King. He's touched down by the Raiders, but it was a knock on from King, so that chance has been lost. And
it's just errors, they're building up.
I was going to say, we're in such a close game.
Yeah.
And I suppose this is when you've had such a convincing win the week before, and everything was coming up for you.
Yeah.
You've got to win slightly differently in this respect, haven't you? Because they're a much tougher team, this Sheffield.
I was just going to say, no disrespect to Workington, but this Sheffield side are more than capable of holding the Raiders toe-to-toe, just like the Raiders are with them. That's why the game's so tight. Both teams are trying to break each other down, and it is by higher risk, greater reward, you know what I mean? But at the moment, the Raiders are just suffering from their own mistakes at the like just turning the ball over to Sheffield.
It's still an entertaining game, and Sheffield playing from deep. It's in the arms of Miller. Did really well to get the offload, which came his way from Foster, and he's put down near the halfway line. The flowing forward again through Brown, drifting across the middle. Has to take some contact in the end, but like I say, he's built like a second row man, so it just looks like he could just ride that challenges like that all day.
He is.
Plays it to Butterworth. Griffin, quick hands from him to Riley. Martin Riley rolled on his back, 40 metres away from the Barrow line. Sheffield Eagles in front in this one by 16 points to 12 as Abdul fires it out to Eden. Eden just put down. He is a player with plenty of pace still. Moved into the middle. Abdul gets his kick away. Oh, this is one for Broadbent to chase. Broadbent does well. Again, perhaps a fraction too long that kick, but Broadbent did ever so well with Bauer coming at him. Still playing through the pain barrier is Broadbent. Toll breaks down the left hand side, tries to find an extra gear, but is eventually rolled to the deck by Brown. Morgan is there as well. Back to the middle it comes with the Raiders, and Cresswell keeps his centre of gravity low, takes the tackle just over his own 30 metre line. Forber scanning, goes to Bullock. No nonsense from Bullock. If we had Peter Kay playing rugby league, that would be no nonsense. Bullock plays it quickly off to the right hand side to King. He plays it out to Walker. Walker on to Cresswell. Cresswell drives over the halfway line, tries to find a second gear, rolled to the floor 40 metres out from the line, about 18-19 metres in from touch. Forber into the arms there of Walker, who gets a high kick away. Eden, well taken. Johnston gets to him really quickly. He'll have to play this 12 metres from his own line. Miller picks up out of dummy half, goes to Walkley. 2 tries already, almost burst into the backfield as well. Good tackle from Shane Toll.
He's electric, isn't he?
He is. Now Miller, good run, looks for an offload. Oh, it's been intercepted, this one by Johnston. Barrow back in possession, in a decent position. That was a pass from Sheffield that didn't need to be thrown.
Again, the same as the Raiders were doing. It's that high risk, high reward sort of passes. If they come off, great, but quite often than not, you're giving your opponent's field position, and it's just who takes that opportunity first, Dave.
Well, King goes inside the 20 metre line. Barrow looking to take advantage. It goes wide to Walker. Inside pass comes in to Bullock. He's going to be stopped 5 metres out from the try line in this just right of centre. Plays it to Forber. Across it goes to Brad Walker. Walker gets his kick away. Oh, there's a lot of space there. And Miller in the end just has to tap it into touch. Just ahead of Broadbent.
Yeah.
I tell you what, they ended up looking really short there down that side, did Sheffield?
Yeah.
What a kick.
And this should be scrum Raiders feed. Come on, play the ball.
Turnover, but it's another set of 6 tackles coming here though.
Yeah.
Are Barrow good enough to keep the pressure on?
Well, both teams, I'd love to see the tackle counts in both teams and the completion rates.
We had a short stoppage because Broadbent was again getting patched up in the background. Playing through the pain barrier as the ball goes to Walker. He gets rid of it quickly to Stack, who juggles with it. Was that a knock on into a Sheffield hand? He's lost it again for a second time, and it's picked up by Riley, and he was looking to get rid of it quickly as well, but then decided I'm better take the tackle here. So 15 out from their own line. Sheffield back in possession. Gill with the carry, just over his own 20 now. Butterworth goes to Greg Eden. Eden plays it wide. Brownie's there. Nice step, good power. Stopped 30 metres from his own line. The point of attack and the ball movement is really impressive from both of these sides. Griffin through the middle. Does well. He's got almost 40 metres from his line. Quick play of the ball. Butterworth, weaving run, sends it right to Miller. Miller brushes away from Toll, bursts into the backfield, but again there's enough players in the middle of that field for Barrow to bring him down. 40 out from the line. Butterworth will play it to Abdul. Abdul just drops it back over his shoulder for Riley. Goes like a pinball, does Riley. Picks up 6 or 7 hard fought metres. Last tackle here, it goes to Abdul. Abdul, little chip over the top. Griffin's after this one. Cresswell does really well to pick it up and then gets overwhelmed in the hit from Griffin, but he did his job there, did the Raiders fullback superbly. Bullman gets it under a bit of pressure, goes around the outside. shrugs off Walkley. Can't escape the clutches of, I'm just looking, that is Foster. Good tackle from Foster, I thought there. That's a big hit coming in on Tia. Barrow 25 out from their own line. Through the middle it goes to King. Relieving run from Ryan King. Can they jump off the back of it? Former plays it out to Johnston. Johnston onto Toll. Toll goes round his man. Feeds it out as well to Broadbent. Just shuffles forward down that left wing. He'll play it 35 out from the try line. Last tackle, Brad Walker punts this one high. Eden's going to have to come for it. That's a great kick. Well taken by Toll. Fed out wide. Robson will score. Superb play from the Barrow Raiders. Turned into points. What a wonderful, wonderful take that was.
Great work. Great work.
Support.
They initially got that edge. They burned them on the edge and they got some field position off the back of that. They put the big kick up. They challenged for it. Took the ball and it was Ellis Robson who stole in at that corner.
Yeah,
very good.
Good try from Robson that.
So that's level that game up with the kick to come. So
sixth try of the season that for Robson as well.
Yep.
16 all. 15 minutes remaining.
15 minutes to go.
Wow, where's your nerves?
Yeah, and it's a nil-point ball game. It's all even, Stephen.
So Brad Walker, not for the first time this season, with a difficult conversion attempt from over on the left-hand side. So Robson it was who scored the try.
Ellis Robson
who scored the try.
Yep.
16 all. Clock ticking down to 14 minutes remaining. Well, my last visit here ended up being a bit of a nerve-wracker against Halifax, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
With the Raiders winning that one by 26 points to 20 on that occasion. I think we're in for just as tight a finish.
I know. I mean, I've had a little feeling that this is not going to be decided until the last 10 minutes, this game, and it's definitely going that way.
So Walker, difficult conversion attempt. Has he got enough of it? Sends it goalward. Oh, the wind, I think, just came against him.
He'll have been kicking right into that there.
16 all.
So that's got the popular side going. It's got this crowd going here at the Speed Competition Stadium. It's all on. With 14 minutes to go, Dave. What do you think?
Well, one thing that I can tell you, Graham, is that I'm running out of nails. This is such a close encounter.
Yeah.
Loving it this evening here from the Speed Competition Stadium. You're listening to us courtesy of the BBC Sports website and app. Dave Parkinson and Graham Dale bringing you full coverage of this one, and what a thriller as the kick reels off towards that touchline. Johnston cut it off, starts the counter-attack. Put on his back though, 20 metres from his own line. Forbert will look for some support. It's crashed forward by Tom Walker, who's back on the field. Again, not much move to manoeuvre there for Tom. Just outside his own 20, plays it in the middle. Forbert though has spotted something. Scurries forward to make 12 hard-fought metres. Cresswell wants to quick play the ball. Referee just waves play on. Bullock follows the support though. And he's put down near the halfway line. So far so good in this set. They'll make over halfway line now through King, who makes it beyond the 40. Great run again from the back rower. Last tackle signalled. Forward to his right hand side. Brad Walker gets his kick away. It's a deep one. Walkley picks it up. Runs across the face of the posts. Ooh, nearly burst into the back. You know what, in some respects, isn't he similar with the way that he runs to T-Ritz?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Tom Walker there let him go and then suddenly thought he's going to skin me and just managed to get his collar.
Fair play to him. Fair play to the big fella.
He needed it.
So Sheffield still just getting down the ground. Foster, right to the contact there of Brad Walker. Tier also involved in the stop. Still just inside their own 40 metre line here. Sheffield, but it's a good run forward from really. Martin really up towards the halfway line. Ball played left. Last tackle, Abdul. Oh, he's put snow on that one. That's a huge kick. Difficult one for Broadbent to take. Does it well. tries to ride
Great
the challenge.
Great take there from Broadbent. It's in the genes, it's in the genes.
Oh, well, his dad was a brilliant player, wasn't he? Wonderful player for Salford and, of course, Barrow.
Yeah.
Whitehaven as well?
He was,
yeah. And here's Curtis Tier, another former Whitehaven player. Love it when I can come up with a good link like that. Plays it in centre field to Cresswell, does well. Bursts down the middle. 15 metres gained from the affable fullback. All on waves the match official. Another 6 tackles from this point. Bullock charging forward. Are they coming home with a wet sail here, Barrow? They're running towards the dock end of the ground. Left to Tom Walker. Good run from Tom. Gets within 5 of the line. Can they jump off the back of this one? Into the arms of Johnston. Johnston takes it right up the guts. Tackle just shy of the line. He'll play to Forbert. Forbert dummies, then sends it to Walker. Walker out wide to Bullman. Bullman, there's not a lot on when he got hold of that, but he's carried it to the try line. Can he ground it?
Strength there, strength.
Ends up not quite being able to touch down. There was 3 players that, again, he had no right to get as far as he did. Super strength from the young man. Ball moved infield to Stack. He's perhaps not that young from a rugby point of view, but he's young compared with me. Stack plays it. 5 metres out. Into the middle it comes with Brad Walker. Dabs his kick forward. Is there too much on that one? Yes, there is.
Yeah.
I love the thought behind it.
Yeah.
But again,
it's a great
just
idea.
Going to get it to slow up. 7 tackle sets from here though, so it's an interesting one for Sheffield. It's in the hands of Walkley. Oh, he loses the ball. Picked up by Gill.
Oh, well.
Lost as well.
That's a
Tier has hammered him. Sheffield complaining bitterly. Tier then tries to pick up Kieran Gill as well.
He come in, Curtis Tier there. He came in from about 20 metres away and cleaned Gill up.
I know, the erstwhile Dan who normally takes this very position, he goes on about the T. Ritson Express.
All right.
We had the train hit. It was a train hit, that wasn't it? It's like that was like being hit by a diesel going through the station.
Definitely.
Wow.
He wasn't going to miss either.
So more possession coming up for Barrow into the last 10 minutes of this one. Graham, you were right.
I think Bishop is coming on. I was just going to say it's maybe time to get Bishop on. His fresh legs. He's had a rest.
This could mix things up in the last 10.
He could just be the difference between the 2 teams.
So played by Bullock. Bishop onto King. King just rolled it across his chest. Nobody bought the dummy though, but he's still going forward here, King. They're going to have to do well to hold him up. And he's tackled just inside the field of play. Bishop comes to this left-hand side, goes back to the right, takes them all on, and eventually falls to the challenge from Foster. They've lost a little bit of ground there, Barrow. King at dummy half, goes into the arms of Tom Walker, tries to keep his trajectory low as well. Tackled right near the posts. Last one in this set for Barrow. Where's it going? It's going out to Johnston. Johnston under pressure from Morgan. Slips it out to Cresswell. Cresswell puts it wide. Oh! He couldn't find his man there, Cresswell.
Unlucky.
Oh! Again, that side had opened up off the Barrow, wasn't it?
It did. It was a great pass by Johnson to find the space. And like you say, Luke Cresswell just couldn't get his pass away.
They've created about 3 or 4 chances in this game, haven't they, Barrow? They were scoring
just
last week, but not quite completing
hand.
it. But I tell you what, if you are going to make a mistake, you want to make it 90 metres from your own line, though, don't you?
Yeah. So and that blood and thunder defence is there again.
Good
this is what you need to try and force an error now.
Brown's back on his 10-metre line, and then it's into the arms of Miller. Ryan Miller just able to chalk off 6 of those metres forward. Riley, not much doing when he got hold of the ball. Rolled to the deck.
Big hit there, big shoulder there. I heard that from here.
And Peachy, good low tackle of Tom Walker. Excellent leg stop. 30 metres away from their own line, Sheffield. Bauer runs really strongly. Makes it as far as his own 40, but they've run out of tackles here of Sheffield. Ball move left to Abdul. Abdul puts boots on ball, doesn't get much distance on it. Taken well by Brad Walker. He's tackled just near the halfway line. Barrow will finish this in good ball territory. And they're slotting into some shape now off the back of Bullman, who goes like an arrow to the heart of the Sheffield defence. 40 metres away from the line. Cresswell adding speed, adding guile, adding sheer guts and
It's just
determination.
so hard to pin down by the first man, isn't he?
Stack down this right hand side.
That's a high.
I
Go for
goal
two.
here.
Go for two.
Go for two. It's just to the right hand side.
Go
of the
for
uprights.
two.
22 metres out from the try line. Perhaps meat and drink for a kicker of Walker's quality. Now, here's where again, up my oldie worldy rugby league tactics. Take the 2 points on offer.
Take the two. Especially with 6 minutes to go. 2 points in front, you're going to get the ball back. They've just really got to put a last big effort in defence, really punish and put this Sheffield Eagles side on the back foot and try and force the error, and try and see this game out.
I'm looking around this Barrow lineup, and there's 2 or 3 players that are really G'ing up the others. One of them is certainly Bishop. He's gone to about 4 players there, and he said, I need you to do this, I need you to do that, and you can see everything's going with him. So
Sorry, I am impressed with Jordan Abdul. His stamina. He's played 80 minutes. He's played the full. He's not had a rest, and he's dictated the play for Sheffield Eagles this afternoon.
Brad Walker though has slotted over that penalty goal. No issue at all. Barrow 18, Sheffield Eagles 16. 5 minutes now remaining. So third goal of the afternoon for Brad Walker. That kick-off is sent long. Not sure whether I would have gone short, but that's the reason why it was sent long. Maybe Johnston was even expecting a shorter range kick than that one. He spilled it. A perfect opportunity here for Sheffield Eagles to apply some late pressure.
Yeah, the big fear now is that from this scrum they create something and just nick the lead of the game back.
They just don't go away, do they, Sheffield?
No.
So, Morgan to feed this scrum. Abdul is standing to the left of it. Greg Eden just drifting across the left of Abdul now. Takes the ball, takes the defence on. Good tackle from Curtis Tier. They're inside 10 metres away from the try line though. Gill moves the ball to Abdul, who juggles with it. Then he sends it into the middle, looking for the running of Corey Johnson, former Leeds man, stopped 12 metres out from the line. Abdul moves into dummy half now, sends it to Riley. Riley through a dummy, surged on, ends up being some good defence on him. 10 metres from the line, King and Bullock both involved in that one. Nice ball movement out to Bauer. Bauer closed down low well, 5 metres to go for the Sheffield Eagles. 4 minutes left on the clock. Morgan moves it to Riley. Rise the challenger, King. Goes forward again. Does Martin Riley. He's going to be stopped about 5 metres shy of the line. It's the last tackle here. So where's Abdul? It doesn't go to him. It goes to Morgan. Morgan around. It's out to Miller. Good defence. Good defence from Barrow Raiders. Oh, there's a penalty here for Sheffield Eagles. Must have been a push or contact off the ball. So they're going to have to maintain the defensive composure again here, Barrow, as we click to 3 minutes to go from full time. Tap taken into the arms of Morgan. He then finds Blake Broadbent. Broadbent tackled about 12 metres out from the line, directly in front of the post. Short ball looking for Peachy. Peachy crashes forward, 2 metres out from the line. Johnson moves it into the middle. Abdul fires it out to Morgan. Morgan keeps it going quickly. Here's Greg Eden. Good defence on Eden. Excellent leg tackle there from Robson. Abdul again buzzing around the middle, pops it back to Riley. Riley sees there's not much doing, but takes on the defence. He's taking them all on, and he's crashed down and put out near the try line. Sheffield trying to steal it. Ball comes infield to Abdul. Abdul fires it out to Morgan. Morgan kicking over the top. It's too wide. Bullman just shuffles it dead. It's going to be a dropout from under the post, but
Pressure.
Here.
Yeah, on the Raiders, building up there now. They've got this kick to come here now to try and either get the ball back or put it into an area where they can try and get some defensive line speed going and force the error. They need this ball back. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. We've played 78 minutes and we're in a 2-point ball game.
Walker hammers the ball as far down the field as he can. It reaches the 40. Morgan cuts it off, puts it in the arms there of Blake Broadbent, who charges into contact 30 metres away from the try line for the Sheffield Eagles. Ball moved left to Abdul. Abdul out to Greg Eden. Eden right to challenge. Oh, it's a forward pass. In fact, no. It's an obstruction call. It's going to be a penalty to Barrow. That could be the winning play. Barrow getting the ball back with 2 minutes remaining, just 20 metres away from their own line.
Yep.
Sheffield have overcooked that play.
They don't need to score. They just need to complete this set of 6.
18-16 to Barrow.
1 minute.
Into the last 60 seconds.
They've just got to get through this set.
Ball up the jumper time. There goes Curtis Tier with the first carry. 8 or 9 hard-fought metres there. Foster messes about. Bishop pops it up looking for Stack, who takes this challenge from Peachy. Buys a couple of metres post-contact. Into the Sheffield half he goes. Bishop moves it to Bullock. If ever you want a player to calm you down in a set towards the end of a game, it's Joe Bullock. And he's inside that 40-metre line. Bishop will move it right to Stack again, another vastly experienced player. Good tackle coming in there on him from Foster. 32 metres away from the try line. Stack will take every second he can to play that ball. Into the arms of King. This will be a slow play the ball as well. 28 metres away from the line. They'll look to get this one off the ground and into touch. Oh, but it's then off the feet there of Gill. Into the arms there of Abdul, who scrappy offload to Walkley. Walkley tackled inside his own 20-metre line. There was the potential of an offside, as Graham mentioned. Then Riley slips it out to Greg Eden. Steps around 2, finds a little bit of space. Tia comes at him.
Great.
It's another diesel hit from him.
He's had his hitting shoulders onto there.
Gill moves the ball to Bauer. Bauer out to Morgan. Further wide to Brown. Brown upended, super tackle. Wonderful hit, Toll. It's a famous win for the Barrow Raiders. What a victory in the end. They have just toughed it out enough and have come out with an 18-16 result, which could be really, really important as we head into the second half of the season.
This Raiders team this year, they've not failed to impress me. Week in, week out, they've put the bodies on the line, they've worked hard for each other, tactically, they've kept to the drill, and that's exactly what they've done today. They've had 2 teams that have played very similar to each other. They've got big lads, and they've really tore out of each other and took it to each other, and in the end the Raiders have gone along 2-point margin, and they've managed to keep them out, and a very good, very well contested game in the right spirit as well.
It was nervy, but it was really enjoyable, and both sides have given their absolute all out there this evening. Wonderful advert for the Betfred Championship. So let's take you through the tail of the tape, shall we? 9 minutes into the game, Jordan Abdul gives Sheffield Eagles a 2-0 advantage with a penalty. Barrow hit back with 2 tries in 4 minutes, the first of which went the way of Ryan King. Joe Bullock running an outside line, which took the sting away from him as he was running through. King coming up with his 11th try of the season. Brad Walker goaled. Brad Walker then goaled the second try, which went the way of making really power-packed run from the Wigan youngster. Another impressive performer for the Barrow Raiders this evening. 12 points to 2 at that particular point. Then we saw 2 tries in 6 minutes for the Sheffield Eagles as they levelled things at half-time. Walkley scoring the first, a sparkling move down that left-hand side. Bauer scoring the second, and he had to finish after being, in my opinion, just a little bit greedy and not feeding it out to his winger, but he went to the break at 12-all. Barrow invited a lot of pressure on themselves in the first few minutes of the second half. Richards came up with a strange sin bin from how myself and Graham saw it. So it meant that Barrow were temporarily down to 12. In his absence, Walkley scored a smart try in the corner off a kick from Abdul, although there was that potential for, was there some obstruction? We will never know. No. It was certainly well contested. So at that stage, Sheffield in front by 16 points to 12. Then we went all the way to the 70th minute. A Brad Walker kick. Ellis Robson eventually touching down after I think it was Shane Toll who took the take and took everybody on, a lovely sleight of hand from him. That was unconverted, 16 all, and we waited until 5 minutes from the end when the winning points were scored by Brad Walker. A penalty just to the right hand side of the post from 20 metres out. It's sad that this game has been decided on a penalty in a way, but in a way as well, very much deserved and sort of in keeping with it.
Yeah, well, do you know, I think if either team had run out by 6 points or 8 points, it'd have been unfair. I'm thinking a 2-point ball game, stressful for the coaches though it is a perfect way to end it. Tight as a drum, because that's what the type of game has been. You know, really, both teams having a go at it, put the bodies on the line. Curtis Tier, like an Exocet missile.
Wonderful defence.
Time and again. You know.
In fact, I got that excited. Who was your man of the match?
Oh yeah. I mean, you could pick several. You've got Joe Bullock there again, who's absolutely been a man mountain in the middle of the field. You've got Kingy that's come on again and steadied the ship. You've got the centres, both centres. You've got Curtis Tier and you know, and Brody. You know, who've done, just put the bodies on the line. Oh, it really is a rough pick, you know, and I feel awful because there are 3 or 4 that could take this. I'm gonna say Curtis Tier for his strength in defence that he's shown today.
And I think as well, Kieran Gill will be having nightmares about it tonight, won't he, to be honest? Oh.
He won't want to put the light out before he goes to sleep.
So we leave the Speed Competition Stadium safe in the knowledge that it's another win for the Barrow Raiders. Now 12 wins for the season. What a year it is turning out to be for Barrow. Graham, thanks for having me alongside you.
Hey,
absolute
pleasure again.
And I hope that I get the opportunity before the end of the season, and that this isn't my last involvement with Barrow as far as this goes.
I'm sure it won't.
If you are interested in your Cumbrian Rugby League, then we've got 2 games for you tomorrow. So we have Whitehaven, who are playing tomorrow afternoon, and I'll be on the Workington Town game. They're playing against Oldham. So we'll be online and across the BBC Sports website and that. But we'll say a final goodbye here from the Speed Competition Stadium. On behalf of myself, Dave Parkinson, and Graham Dale, we'll sign off. Another victory chalked up for the Barrow Raiders. They've done it tough, they've done it true, but they've done it. 18-16. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.